YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Look at this beautiful thing. Heybike. We're gonna bring you a bike today because we know you guys love it when we review bikes. This is an e-bike. Obviously, there is a battery here. There's lights on the front. There's a brake light on the back. This thing has a huge motor. I think it's a 500 watt motor. This is what you get when you get reviews from Brian Phillips RC. We're gonna show you everything and whether or not it really works. We have footage of this thing going through tight spaces, unobstructed by its overall size, and also into that Traverse LT 2011 model. And we're gonna ride it for you a little bit. We're gonna see if it stands up to the claims to go 25 miles an hour. And I've only ridden it about 1.4 miles, and it was in the dark by myself and I was scared, so I stopped. Okay, so by the way, if you're wanting to see the full unbox and build, which there is a little bit of assembly required, this comes with every tool you need, with the exception of a couple of little loose end pieces to make it a little easier. So if you stay tuned, you can see that at the end. And basically we're gonna go over how to charge it. There is a little USB port under here, right there. There's keys, make copies of the keys. It's got 20-inch by 4-inch fat tires, which is pretty cool. Spring loaded, adjustable and offable springs on the front. It's got a drink holder, which is something we haven't seen. It's obviously got the low step, which is nice. I still always try to put my leg over the back because that's just what I've done for my entire life. And it's got this rack that at first I thought was super uggo, and now I love it and I'm a believer. So not only that, but this Ranger is called Heybike, and I have been known to notoriously overuse the word hey. So how could we refuse? So that being said, it's got a good kickstand, disc brakes. Show them the disc brakes. Amazing disc brakes. It's like all the things you want in a bike, and huge, nice wheels. These aluminum wheels are painted black, and it's easy to get to the air. We even show the air chuck if you just stay tuned. Look at this, watch this. If you need to take the battery out, check that out. Amazing. Put this thing in, shut it off. You have to push it in and then go all the way to unlock, and there it is, guys. That's as easy as it is. And yes, this USB port does work, so you can take that on your picnics or whatever and charge your cell phones, provided you have the right size charger, cables and things like that. Okay, drop it down. Turn this to the on position. There is an off position. Key comes out, goes in your pocket. The thing is locked, so you're good to go for security. Or you can just take the whole dang battery, which is what I would recommend. Also, I would recommend you can take the seat off, take that with you, and then it's just a little bit harder to steal the thing. There is a folding lever here. We'll show you exactly how that works. And then this also folds. All of the folding features on this bike are extremely fast and very good for storage. So it's basically, this bike is like, what's your excuse that you don't have this for? And they have met every excuse that I was looking and saying, nah, it won't work because of this. It won't work because of that. It won't work because it's too big, because it's too small, because it's too tall, because it's too wide, because it's too narrow. It's even got folding pedals. And you're like, I don't need no folding pedals. Yeah, you do. You do, you just don't know it yet because you haven't tried to put it between your two cars that are parked too close, which we'll show that later. So also the pneumatic tires are very comfortable. There's a spring-loaded seat right here that is also adjustable. I mean, it's like all bike features that you can get right now in today's technology. And it goes 25 miles an hour. It's got a walk feature. This goes down for throttle. It's off right now, just so you know. There's also a Shimano 7-speed selector here. The brakes I needed to adjust just a little bit. They don't oscillate a lot. They've got the big pads for if you're doing off-roading, which is nice for your handles. Love it. It's got a horn that's actually loud, which is good. The light is adjustable up and down. Huge complaint we had on other nighttime riding experiences, like that scooter over there, which I actually love. But the thing is, I can't see what's going in front of me. I can see what's on the ground in front of me, but I can't see what's going on. This thing, I can make it shine off into the distance, or I can make it shine into the ground. Again, we're gonna show you shining that light into that tree line and you can see it from the driveway, which is intense. That being said, there's also a flashing light. I mean, this thing has every feature you could want and we're gonna show you how it does. It charges with a mic jack, super easy. Obviously it comes with a provided charger. The charger is high quality. It's got a cooling fan on it. Again, we're gonna show that in a later part of the video in the Unbox build and radio setup, and there is no radio setup and there is no Maiden flight. There's a Maiden run. So anyway, if you guys are familiar with our channel, we do kind of exhaustive reviews. And so for all these companies that hit us up and they're like, ooh, we love your channel, we want you to do a review. And we know they never actually love our channel, but they want us to do the review. Well, they don't know what they're getting into most of the time. So if you survive an Unbox build radio setup for Brian Phillips RC, you probably have a decent product. That being said, sure, I don't think most of these Chinese companies even know what they're getting into when they send us stuff. So, Heybike, welcome to the club. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna give you a couple of quick rides. One thing too, we're gonna try to do some onboard footage just so you guys can see. We're gonna turn it on right now. Power button's right here. There's a little display here. It's easy to see in person. I don't know if it's gonna film well. It says 1.4 miles. There's an odometer. There's also a trip odometer. There's a speed indicator. And then you can see it's on 0. So plus brings it to 1. That's the lowest setting for speed. That's the next setting. That's the top setting. If you go all the way to 0 and you press and hold the minus, it goes to walk mode and it does jump forward. So as you can see, it will walk with you. Now, one thing too, I just want to talk about, you can use the throttle. So just be aware that when you use the throttle, it will go. And this thing is juicy. It is powerful. So I'm going to take it out of walk mode and I'm going to go to speed 3. And I just want to show you guys this. So be careful what you're doing because look, that thing will go. And by the way, most of the time when you have your finger on the throttle, you're not necessarily holding the brake. So just be aware. That was something that we learned in our preliminary testing, which was in the dark and I was screwing around and it was super fun. But nobody died, so it was great. Also, they have designed this specially for Americans. As you can see, what? The camera crew gave me a bad look when I did that. This has a wide seat and it's made for human butts instead of like weird bicyclist butts that weigh 100 pounds. I'm not one of those people. And by the way, 6'2" to what, like 5'3" is what they suggest for the size class on this. I don't know if I necessarily 100% agree with that. I feel like I'm still big on the frame myself. But the thing is, it does handle my weight capacity just fine. So all those things considered, we're gonna go into it now. We've got lights, as you can see. The light is on. Now the light is off. The light is back on. The brake light works regardless of light conditions, so it flashes. We're gonna shut the lights off, and it still flashes, correct? Yep. Okay, the kickstand is adjustable up and down, so you can make this thing sit at different angles. There is a kickstand for when this is folded, so it will stand and support itself. We're gonna show that in a later part of the video. And without further ado, I'm not trying to give you guys any bad ideas, but I'm just gonna put this into 0 so it doesn't take off on me. But I'm just saying that I fit doing this. So anyway, don't forget your safety gear. I'm gonna wear my invisible helmet and we're gonna go for it. So, a couple things to keep in mind. When you pedal, this thing goes and it is aggressive. There is not a smooth transition into power like I've seen on other bikes, even in speed 1. So be aware. I tend to ride all electronic bikes on the top speed setting because I'm heavier than most people that would be riding this. So we're just gonna demonstrate no pedal and going into speed 1, because why would you buy this for a regular bike if you're not using the e-bike? See, foot up, no problem. And I'm already out of the throttle because it's that powerful. I'm just idling my feet and there it goes. Look at that, it doesn't even take pressure to start it. You just have to rotate about half a rotation. It's fast. That's on speed 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna avoid just the wet patch there. But just to show the people at home, when you're out here pedaling, it does great. It's very comfortable. Very easy to control because of the fat tires. I do ride my pressure a little bit higher than some people would. I'm barely even working, guys. It's very weird, okay? So now I'm gonna just use my thumb so I don't even have to pedal. But it's a little bit slow, so I need to help it along on speed setting 1 in the off-road terrain. Okay, so now that we've seen that, I'm gonna come out here on the driveway. This is full bore all the way down on my throttle. That's full speed at about 11, 12. As you can see, the tail end slipped a little bit and I left a big brown spot. So, let's show the people out on the driveway the spot. So, as you can see, the brakes on the back locked up. So that means that they're working totally. I'm gonna go to speed setting 2, but I wanna go in speed setting 1 more time in a circle, okay? Just so you can see it'll do tight turns and it's comfortable to ride. The ride is really good because this yard is bumpy. As you can see, we haven't cut the grass for the first time because we've had some trouble last year. We had a drought. So here we go. Speed 1, no pedaling. I can't go full speed without crashing, but I do want to show you one other thing. If you can get a little bit closer, I want to show my feet. So in my initial 1.4 miles worth of ride, I noticed this. Look at my left foot.
Does your heel drag?
Not yet, but pretty darn close. So one thing to keep in mind is that this bike responds electrically to the brakes. It is aware of your braking and it stops throttle, okay? Secondarily, your feet do go low. So you need to be aware if you're gonna be doing some significant off-roading, you may have to put your feet in the middle position so you don't bottom out, okay? I've not hit this support, but this support is actually higher than the pedal. So when you do fold the bike, the pedal has to be idled out of the way to sit down on the frame. It's not a big deal, just want you guys to be aware. Now watch this is a nice tool. You can walk it up to a travel position, which is really nice. So this thing has power. I mean, it's like more than I've had in any e-bike before. It is also a heavier bike at 62 pounds or 61 pounds. I feel like that's about what you get. Also, the protectors on the cables are all Velcroed, which is really nice. That's something we haven't seen. And then the plug for the light is real easy to get to. I love the way it rides. I love the way it looks. I love the way that it's got a drink holder. That is something that we haven't seen for some stupid reason on these bikes. But what we want to do next is I'm gonna go to speed 2. We'll show you kind of the same circuit quick. We'll do speed 3, same circuit quick, and then we're gonna do some more off-road so you can see how it handles the off-road better. So speed level 1. Okay, now we're going to speed 2. We're gonna start from nothing. No pedal assist, I'm just getting my feet neutral. May lose audio, so talk for me, hon.
I'm not sure if we'll lose him or not, but he's gonna go down the driveway, probably come around and back up. And he's in speed level 2 for this one. I don't know if he's gonna come off the grass or not.
So about 12.5 miles an hour up that small hill, and then it's continuing up to 14, 15, and full brakes all the way to the point of dragging my wheels. And I didn't even get up to full speed there, but it was pretty close. Now keep in mind, this is only rear wheel drive. It's not forward and back wheel drive. Some of the most sophisticated and most insanely expensive bikes have both wheels driving now. So that being said, you're not gonna get that in this price point, generally speaking. So the Shimano Gearbox, I haven't even used it yet on this thing. I've gone 1.8 miles, and that's the type of bike I like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up to speed level 3, and we're gonna see just how crazy this gets. Now, please help me with the audio if you lose me. It's hard for me to see and tell. So we're just gonna go ahead and line up from about the same spot and see how this goes. I love that I can just drive off-road and it's no problem. And note that I'm not tracking mud. That's a big deal for us because we like to keep it tidy with the little aircraft we drive. Okay, was this the crack I went to?
Yeah, I think you were about there.
Okay, so from full on stop, there's full throttle. You'll note that it doesn't start much faster on 3 than it did on 1. Okay, we're at about 10 right now.
I'll try and watch his audio.
There's 13, 15, 17 miles an hour before the end of the drive.
I think I'm still getting him. He was about 17 at the end of the driveway. And then back up the hill.
So I was going about 14 miles an hour up the hill with assistance. Now, the other thing too is I wanted to report that I did run my foot into the ground out there. My left foot hit, but there is a crown on that road, and generally you're not going on the crown of the road, but you do need to be aware of that. That was one of the things I brought up. I don't think it's obviously a deal breaker or anything, but it is something you want to keep in mind if you're looking at this particular Heybike. Now, this is not the most off-roady style that they carry. They have another off-road style bike that they carry, and you may want to check it out on the website. We're not going to talk too much about it today because we may end up reviewing that at a later time, but for now, this one is awesome. I'm super excited about it. I love the fact that it doesn't damage the yard. Show them the yard. The only thing it's done is knock down the grass.
Yep.
There's literally almost, I mean, you can't even tell that I drove on it. And by the way, show them how wet it is.
Yeah,
like, show them a wet
really,
spot.
Yeah.
Like, there's one over to your right if you look.
It's actually wet. The
It's
ground.
been raining on and off for about the week.
Yeah, or longer.
Yep. So what I hope to do now is I want to take a small circuit where I'm going to go down this hill. This is a hay field. It is not a grassy field in your front yard.
No.
This is actually taken for hay. That is hay right there. You can buy it from us. If you hit us up on phillipsfarmsolutions@gmail.com, you can actually buy that hay if you're into that sort of thing. But this is going to be hay production here in a couple more weeks when it gets about knee high. We'll cut it, we'll let it dry, and then we'll bale it up. And then over there is alfalfa. And I'd like to ride through both of these different products with this bike just to show you that it'll make it through no problem. And maybe it won't. But we're gonna go across this bridge, and we might even try our Crazy Kids Bridge. So, are you good, camera crew? You ready to go?
Are we gonna reset, or am I just gonna kind of follow you?
We're just gonna go.
Okay.
And then we're gonna give you some first-person view, maybe not a ton because we don't think it really adds that much to the videos, but we will give you a full speed run and see. This is a fairly level road right here. There's a little bit uphill there, and then there's a little bit of downhill and uphill here. So what we try to do is we try to use this middle part so you can see that it will sustain a particular speed. I mean, obviously you're not gonna be running at totally flat all the time on bike paths, or if you're in an off-road thing, just keep in mind you're not gonna climb a hill like a mountain. This is not a dirt bike. I want it to be a dirt bike, but it's not a dirt bike. It's still pretty awesome though, and it will get me at all of, let's call it 280, all up with shoes and everything. So I'm on the top end of the weight scale. It would handle more, but you're gonna increasingly draw down the motor. It's not gonna start you as fast. You may have to pedal assist if you're a bigger guy or girl. So we're gonna go this way. You ready?
Yep.
All right.
What level are you in right now?
I'm in 3.
Okay.
Just because I don't mess around.
I know. I'll be in 0.
I wanted desperately our last e-bike to do this and it wouldn't. So I'll kind of go just in a straight path, just so that we stay within mic contact.
Okay.
Front brakes are really good. Back brakes are really good. I've got no problems. They do squeal a little bit, but it's a little bit humid right now.
Yep.
You see my clearance issues on my left foot there? That's some rough ground and it has no problem. Let's see if I can go up the hill while you're there.
Okay.
This is just a little bit of pedal assist. Not gonna make it without getting into it hard. But again, we are off-road here, guys.
Yep.
This is a pretty significant amount of hill and it's thick and rough. So sure, you can climb the hill, but I'm also in 3rd gear. So I'm gonna go down to a lower gear on the bicycle, and then I'm gonna see if I can take it on again.
Okay.
Okay, so in a lower gear, we'll just see if I can get up there with that 3rd level assist. It's probably all I could do to get up there, but it definitely gets the job done. By the way, this terrain is kind of tough in my tractor.
Yeah.
So this is incredible that it goes right up there.
Yeah. This is no joke. This is not riding around in your front yard.
Okay, so thoughts on that? That's rough. That's rough terrain, guys. So I'm out of breath because I'm out of shape, not because the bike didn't do enough work. But I can definitely say this, 500 watts of power for a big guy like me, even at 48 volts, you're still 500 watts is 500 watts. So keep that in mind. And then also, okay, so if you think about the gearing, It did change gears good going up and down the hill. And let's show them how this works. So you basically have the plus gears are here. So you would do that with this thumb. And then the minus gears are here to go back, okay? And let's show them the derailleur down here. Okay. And I'll actually just go ahead and pedal that for you. I'll put it up. I like the way that the derailleur works. It doesn't give a lot of problems because there's only one chain up front, which is what everything is going to nowadays. And so if you look at the chain and everything looks solid. The pedals are really heavy duty. I like the way that everything is working. I don't like that the derailleur is so low though, for an off-road. Now, I don't know if you guys could tell from the way I was riding, but as with any 20-inch wheel, you're only ever gonna be so good. If you go to a bigger wheel, you're gonna do a little bit better on the off-road side of things. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're considering this bike. Okay, again, not trying to talk you in or out of this particular bike over another particular bike, but we do like this bike. So we're gonna continue. Why don't I go across and we'll see if we can run down to the kids' bridge and we'll see how that goes. I'll stay in a low gear and then you can go on this side and I'll go on that side. Is that cool?
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna take off now. I love not having to pedal much. So I'm just going slow. So it's kind of rough over here, but it's a comfortable ride. My butt's not hurting yet. I do feel like the camera crew is not able to keep up very good with me. I can't go a whole lot slower in an off-road setting like this. I kind of have to keep moving to keep myself balanced. But we'll just continue on over there. If you want to get ahead of me a little bit, then I'll go ahead and ride across that bridge.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so this is the big question mark. Can I go across the kids' bridge? And I think it probably will, but let's put it in walk mode and see what happens. Okay, it's in walk mode. I'm gonna use the brakes to help me go down the hill here. I know you guys wanted to see me fall in here, but as you can see, this bridge was never designed to do this, but it looks like it might actually work. I just don't think we're gonna have enough juice to get up here. So I'm gonna put it in speed 1 and then use the motor to help me get out of the hole here. Not enough weight. Not enough weight on the back wheel. That was a lot easier actually. So, what do you think, camera crew? Should I risk it? I mean, we only need one take. I don't know if I can do it, but we'll try it. I'm gonna walk around the tree of death here.
Okay.
So guys, if you want an off-road solution, I feel like this thing kind of does it, but it's definitely not without some level of compromise because of the ground clearance. Now, I'm not gonna call that a big problem because I don't think it is, but it's definitely something you need to keep in mind, is if you can have your feet sideways, you'll be good. All right, we're gonna try this. I have no idea if we can actually make this work because we've never actually done this here. It's still a little bit soft, so I'm having to kind of guide it along. I've already walked across the bridge once, but I don't know if I've got enough capacity to do this. This is gonna be exciting. So it's just not quite enough oomph without pedaling. And you see what happens is when you get your butt off of the chair, it likes to spin on some of the bark that's on that bridge. So this is pretty insane steep. I bet we could go down this hill, but not necessarily up. So I'm gonna try going down this time. We did walk across already, but I'm still not 100% sure. We don't do a lot of this crazy biking, but we did make this bridge. We didn't make it for the intention of doing biking on it. So we'll see. Now this is one of those spots where you're gonna get likely to high center because the pedals, because look at my right foot there, camera crew. Mm-hmm. So you have to ride it around like this. And then I'm just gonna try to go. And we'll see if I can get down there. It's just real slick right now. I think the only time we're gonna be able to do this is when it's super dry. So, well, let's keep going since we've already gotten this. You see that? That's one nice thing. Look at that.
Yeah.
When you realize you're in too deep, you can actually jump off the bike and not get racked, right?
I mean, I wouldn't know, but.
Well, I do. Okay, so we're gonna try this, see if it breaks. Oh, so close. Lack of rider skill time. So we'll reset here and come right back, guys. We have an airplane going over.
Right overhead.
That guy is really low.
Yep.
You wanna know why? Because he's probably on a VFR flight plan and he got hemmed out by the clouds, I bet.
Yeah, it's really cloudy.
Yeah, I know. So we've established that this is probably a little bit too intense unless you're going fast, and I'm not the type of guy that's gonna be going fast across this thing. Maybe like my kids when they're young and dumb, they can try that stuff, but me, I'm not so much. You wanna show them this? Come on down so they can see what they're looking at.
Yeah, this was kind of designed to be like steps, not necessarily a ramp.
Yeah, I mean,
especially-
you could do it if you were going fast and you had enough skill, which I have neither, and I wasn't.
I'm gonna come down from the side so you can see. This is not like a
Are
little
you showing them the whole
flat-
area so they can see what it looks like? I want them to see the difference in height. Like you're completely below where you were.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And then some.
I was up there. This cliff here is taller than me. It's probably almost 10 feet.
So if you're riding this bike, you could totally do this if you had more skill than me. But I just don't want the bike to get blamed for my lack of skill.
Yeah.
Would be the safe bet.
Yes.
But it's doing good on the off-road. It's just the off-road plus crazy hills, plus the pedal clearance. That's gonna be one of the things you'll run into. And then over here, we have kind of a same path to nowhere, to certain death actually.
Yeah.
And maybe if we had like a super skilled biker, they could go up that one log all the way to the other side.
That would be super cool.
If you can do that, come do it on my YouTube channel, please.
Yes. This is a cool part of our yard though. So it's fun to like hang out down here, but.
Oh yeah, it's a cool spot. Hey, by the way, if you hold the walk button, which is by pressing minus until it goes to 0, and then you press and hold the minus to walk with it. When you let go, it stops. So I was doing it wrong. So I'm in walk mode now. And then if I brake, it stops. I'm holding the negative button. When I let go of the brake, it walks. See? It walks. And it's going slow. So that's a really nice feature. I wasn't using it right up there. Because if you give it full throttle, it goes. And then you'll spin your wheels. So the walk mode works really nice. I do feel like the brakes could be adjusted a little bit tighter yet still. So we're gonna go ahead and pick back up. The camera crew's gonna come over and join me and we'll film from this side. Okay, so now that you're over here with us, show them how muddy it is.
Yeah.
It's just, if it would have rained more today, we couldn't have done this video today. So just so you guys know, we're not just slipping because we totally suck at life. I mean, it's actually pretty slick on that spot. So this is just how rough it is. Show them just how rough this is. This is legit off-road, guys. Look, there's a log.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like it's super well kept here. And then that is a hayfield, and that's alfalfa. So I promised going through the alfalfa. Let's walk up there close and just show them what that looks like up close. Because if it's a bunch of city slickers watching this like us, they probably won't even know what alfalfa is.
And this grass here is taller even than what you were riding on down the hill from the house. So here's the line.
So this is alfalfa. Show them the legume. Legume. This is the legume.
It gets these really little pretty purple flowers on them too.
And so the way this works is that as this plant grows, it'll eventually grow about yay high, somewhere in there. And then every 28 days, it's gonna get cut throughout the season. And you can see the line where we have grass and then it goes to the alfalfa. Alfalfa is mixed with hay in this case, and then we have a guy contracted out to take this hay and then to take that hay this year. And we're just gonna do the front and then this little area. But this is gonna go into here, and I'm just gonna do a straight line so I don't totally screw up his crop, but I'm gonna screw up a little bit of it doing this, so you're welcome, YouTube. All right, here we go. So I'm in 3, and I'm gonna just see if it can get me started. Nope, it cannot get me started up this hill, so I'm gonna have to pedal to help. Put my pedal there. I'm gonna go a little bit less steep. I'll do it on my side. And I'm gonna start pedaling, and then I'm gonna just see if it can carry me through. Yep. That's a pretty gnarly hill, folks.
Yeah.
So it definitely does the trick. If you're off-roading through alfalfa, it'll work. Now, one other thing I notice is that the brakes are amply strong, but they do squeal a little bit. So I wonder if that's something that'll break in over time. Break in, pun intended. So yeah, so I would say overall, if you're really doing serious off-roading with this, you may end up having some compromises involved. But I would say that for what I'm gonna do with it, which is strap a chainsaw on the back and go out there and cut down a dead tree, it's gonna work great. It's gonna really work good. And usually we ride on the paths. We have walking paths, it's just that they're rough and it's like a long ways. So it's gonna work perfect for our needs. So do you wanna show them how fast I can get moving just ahead of you here? And then we'll meet up at the bridge. I'll just wait for you there.
Okay, yeah, I'll just let you go ahead.
All right, so on level, I can still let it take me away. Just half a pedal, 1 pedal to get me started, and it's going. I'm in speed 3. It's a very comfortable ride.
And you're going faster than I'm walking.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't feel like my butt's taking the pounding that we've had from other bikes.
Well, and that was part of the reason we liked the idea of the off-road bikes, is because we'll be out working on a project and then you're like, I need a tool from the garage, and then I'm walking all the way back. You know, whereas if you can jump on the bike, you can be there and back a lot faster.
So I would say so far, my impressions are, it's gonna be a really good on-road bike. It's gonna give you more comfort and security because of the big tires. If you run into a bumpy path, it's gonna really help you out. I think the noise from the bigger tires could be a factor for some people, but I don't think it's really a big issue for most. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and ride across. See, I had visions of going up the ditch and all this stuff, and you could do it if you had enough speed, you could crawl that thing, but this is not a rock crawler and it's not a gas bike. So, you know, we're trying to help you guys understand what you're gonna be getting when you unpackage this, which is excitement, speed, but I would say that most of those things are gonna happen on road with this particular model. Now, it does have a higher speed than the more off-roady model. And do you happen to remember the model name on that? This is the Ranger.
This one's the Ranger.
Yeah, so if you want to check it out, just follow the link in the video description below and it'll be right there for you. We'll have a link to this bike and we'll have a link to that bike. And as usual, if you buy the stuff from the links in the video description below, I mean, who knows? This bike is great. I think it's great, but you might not like it. The thing is, you might like the other one better. So either way, you'll be supporting our channel if you buy it from the links. And then, of course, we have tons of other stuff down below. And then BrianPhillipsRC.com, of course, is going to give you links to all the videos that we do here on Brian Phillips RC. We try to review a wide variety of different cool electronic-related, aviation-related stuff, just so we can keep you guys excited about all the cool things coming and bugs flying in Brian Phillips's eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive across here and we'll try to just go straight up she'll have to film from behind, and then I'll get up on the driveway and we can commence the speed testing. Although the wind is picking up. Show them over here.
Yeah,
we've got some crazy storm. We prefer to film like when there's impending doom over the horizon, but only because we'd normally be flying, and we can't fly when it's this crappy.
It seems to be a consistent issue this spring.
Yeah, for the last 2 months, it's been terrible. All right, so here goes nothing, guys. We'll just go across the creek. Woo! Woohoo! That was faster for me.
It was quite a bit. That's it. This is a big elevation change, though. This is not.
It's like 30 feet.
Yeah.
So I like the way it handled the bump too. That was really fun.
I could tell.
I caught air.
I know.
That doesn't happen often for people in my size class. Unless you're in an airplane.
Should we go down to the road and just do a little bit back and forth so they can see the speed before we kind of...
We'll probably pause and do a high-speed pass. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, we're doing a high-speed pass.
25.
25?
And comfortable, not scared.
There's a little bit of downhill as he was coming down toward the house. He's right about the end of our property, right about there. And then he can continue to go uphill. Then our pavement ends just up there around the curve. The white fence is the entrance to the cemetery. The pavement ends just past the entrance to the cemetery. So pick up a little bit of speed coming down here, but we'll see what he says when he comes by. So he's pedaling right now, and then I think he stopped pedaling as he was going by to see kind of what his coasting speed was. That light is definitely bright. I can see.
That's 22 miles an hour.
22?
22.
22 there.
22. 22. 19.9. All the way to stop.
The brakes work.
The brakes work good. I feel like it locks up the back brakes a little bit faster than I'd like, but it gets you stopped and you feel comfortable doing it. That's one thing that's really strange about this bike for me. I'm used to more of the no pain, no gain sort of life, you know, biking. And if you don't feel every jab, I intentionally ran over a log down there just to see how it would feel. And you can't even hardly tell it happened. It's really nice. So the way I look at it is, are you gonna be going up a mountainside with this? No. Are you gonna be going down a mountainside with this? Probably. Of course, downhill is easier than uphill. But the thing is, it's really cool because once you get on the road, it's comfortable. So what I'll do is I'll film the camera crew doing it now and you guys get to watch.
Oh, yay.
All right, the camera crew is super excited that I talked her into doing this. Oh yeah, look at that
The camera crew is also shorter.
Yeah, just grab this and see if you can adjust it.
Okay.
We're gonna show the people just how quick and easy this happens. Just go all the way down. You're gonna, yeah,
okay.
There you go. And note that this release doesn't hit, which is really nice. Okay. See, was that hard?
Okay, no, that's not bad.
Okay,
the handlebars might be a little awkward.
Show them how easy it is to step on. That's the big thing, folks. Oh yeah.
Oh, you have my phone. I have my phone in my pocket, but I don't.
Okay, now remember, just pedal. You're in speed 3.
No.
It's so easy. Just go that way. You go way faster in a car. Guys, look at this construction sign. Who took that down?
Wait, throttle? Weird. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious.
Hey, stay on the road. Oh, that thing looks awesome. There she goes. Looks like she's braking, but I think that's just the camera refresh rate. That light is solid, right? There. And I don't think she's gonna go fast, guys, because that's just not her style. She is more on the chicken side of things. And so we're gonna pause while she turns around. Oh boy, here it comes. She turned around. So this is downhill here and then slightly uphill. So I was carrying about 22 miles per hour. Anybody who's got an e-bike knows exactly what I'm talking about. Give her all she's got. See how it feels.
I was.
Were you pedaling?
No,
I love the way those reflectors look.
You'll be proud of me. I did put it in speed 3.
You did?
I did. I went 20.
Well, that was so slow. Go this way now. Because that way's more flat. On the way back down, you should go full bore because it's so comfortable and smooth. Okay, so what you guys don't know is that the camera crew in her natural environment does not like to go fast on deadly things, unlike her husband, who is me. So watch this. This is going to be intense. Watch this turn around. If she crashes, I'll have to stop the video. Otherwise, I may be sleeping like right there in the bush. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, here she goes. I love this high quality zoom. Oh boy, here it comes. Ooh, she did an extra wide turn. Ooh, that's where I was cutting up the barbed wire fence last night. Good idea driving there. Okay, here we go, guys. Here it is. It's not the bike, that's a motorcycle. Come on, go all the way, full speed. Wow, that was incredible. So guys, I can tell you a couple things too while she's getting turned around. You can definitely see it flashes when you brake. When I go full speed on other e-bikes at 25, which has never happened, I can go 25 downhill with a tailwind, maybe being pulled by an airplane. But on this thing, you can legit go 25. The gear ratios on these single to 7 gear sets, what'd you think? Did you go 25?
I did.
How fast did you go?
25.
I told you it's
Down
not
here.
scary. It's not like the other one where you're like, oh my goodness, I hope I live.
I really
It's
like
smooth.
the seat on this one.
Yeah, I told you. It's way more comfy.
It's very comfortable. It is.
And it's just a comfortable bike to ride. I mean, obviously you're not gonna be like going on a mountain trek up the side of a glacial hill.
No.
But the thing is, to be honest with you, if you're going onto like a deadly mountain range and you're gonna be doing some like extreme mountain biking, you know, you're probably gonna wanna have 2-wheel drive.
But you probably
because you're gonna wanna get pulled up the
bike for that, are you?
Well, there's people that use them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, for size reference, I'm like almost 5'8"
Okay.
in terms of height.
So I love this bike. It's a good bike.
I do too.
It's definitely a big improvement over what we've had in the past. Ooh, it's the selfie mode.
Ooh.
I hope I actually got us
I
in
don't
camera.
know. We'll find out.
So my thoughts on this bike are, if you're thinking about an e-bike and you're willing to spend a little bit of money, this one's gonna do almost everything you want. And when I say almost, I mean, like I said, the deadly glacial cliffs, you'll have to bring another bike for the deadly glacial cliffs.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I'm not gonna be doing that, so.
Right, but like even our little bridges over here, you know, that one's no problem. And then this one over here, we have people that are afraid to cross that on foot. And I'm trying to do it on this Heybike.
This one also comes in white.
Oh, it comes in white.
matte
I think there's also a white and black too.
I don't know. I know
we
there's
should check.
white and black.
Check the link in the video description. It will tell you what's available,
Yes,
correct?
it will. It will.
Okay, so camera crew, in terms of comfort on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being sitting on the couch watching TV with coffee, and then like 1 being the last e-bike that we had.
Oh, well, like 8.
It's an 8. It's a lot better.
This seat is way better.
Yeah.
I don't like bike seats.
Okay, so I'm gonna show the people how quick I can change it. Hey, wait, do the kickstand. Remember, you're a smaller frame, so let's show the people how easy it is.
I really like the kickstand. The kickstand
actually works.
Yeah. That's like the one complaint on our scooter is that I have
The
such a
kickstand
hard
is
time
really
getting
bad
the kickstand down.
because they got a little tab that's about like 1 millimeter deep.
It works. It's just impossible to like
And if you're barefoot with all your safety gear on,
then it
doesn't work.
really
So it's like terrible for us.
Yeah.
Brian Phillips RC story time. Okay, right after we did the scooter, there was a Huey that got fogged out, and I'm not making this up.
No.
And I woke up, I was going to the bathroom, and that little teeny window is a bathroom next to our garage, right? So I'm going to the bathroom, and I'm like, and I'm thinking, whoa, it's finally happening, Red Dawn. And I was running to get my supplies, and I'm like, wait, no, it looks like he's landing. What the heck is he doing? And it looked a lot like this. And he comes flying through here, and he landed right there.
Yeah.
Not on this side, but on the other side of the trees.
Right here.
And so I got in my socks, I got on that scooter and rode out. And I sat there and watched this Huey spooling down. It was one of the coolest things ever. And I'm like, why did you land there? Why did you land here? Oh, power lines.
Power lines.
We're working on that. So guys.
It was incredible. And it was
It,
loud.
It was loud. Everybody else was in bed, but they weren't in bed long after that.
Everybody up.
So in conclusion.
Oh, you were going to show them how fast to readjust.
Oh, to readjust?
I think that's what you said you were going to do.
So there's a max penetration or min penetration.
Yeah.
And I think I was there.
Yeah. We will mark it.
We'll mark it.
Yeah.
We'll just take and spray a little bit of paint.
Because we'll both ride.
So I think, okay, what are my key takeaways from this bike versus other bikes? Huge. It fits between my car and my truck.
Yep.
That is, I mean, it seems like such a stupid thing, but it does. B, the handlebar gets out of the way. Those are two of the biggest problems we have with our equipment. I mean, I literally don't ever ride my other bike because it's behind the tractor. And this is what happens when you're an adult, because you have your kids wanting their bikes and then yours is buried like in the basement underneath 47 years worth of crap. So if you can have it so you can get to it, and then you can get to it and put it where you want to use it, this might be a bike for you. The other thing too is, big thing, I like the fit.
Yeah.
I normally don't like the 20-inch wheels, but I feel like these wheels just do better because of the fat tire setup. Would I like a bigger wheel? Yeah, I think so. But you know what? It's not going to fit in our Traverse then.
No.
This thing makes it by that much. So, seriously though, it barely makes it. And the other thing is, I like that the mud flaps work. I had mud flinging, not a lot, but a little bit. And so, if you're riding this as a commuter bike, that's a legit issue you're going to run into. And I think let's show them the display. I mean, it's not like bright sun, but it is bright out. And there are some different screens that you can get into here. There's a power button here. There's a light button here, which doesn't do anything.
Nope, it changes the display, backlight.
Okay, you see that? Then there's this, which is the mile or
and then your trip.
Miles per hour, max speed. Then there's the average speed. Then there's the trip. Now I'm gonna try to put my body in front of the wind. And then there's 3 miles, max, average, and then trip. There's your regular odometer. So we have 3 miles on this bike already. Wow. That's incredible. How do we have 3 miles already? That's nuts. So in closing, I love the bike. I love the fact that the light shines the right direction. I love the fact that there is majorly high visibility on this bike. The reflectors are big and easy to see. There's reflectors front and back. Plus, you have bright lights. And I'm saying when this goes down the road, it looks like a motorcycle. Now, I'm not saying that it's, you know, at night you need to wear high visibility clothing and all that stuff for safety reasons. Also, you may have noticed our invisible helmets were markedly invisible today.
Really well.
Yes, that's right. So, you know, they're going to probably encourage you to wear whatever safety products make you feel warm and fuzzy. I would suggest you do the same thing. But to be honest with you, this bike makes you feel like you're wrapped in a ball of safety. Just because it really is, it's an easy to ride bike. Like I said, my only complaint with this bike, and I mean, it's like legitimately the only bike complaint I have, is that everything could use more power. Okay, so that's not even a complaint. That's just, you know, like, of course, even if it was like a, you know, Harley Davidson, I would think it wants more power. But then right here, the clearance. So if you can get past the clearance issue and you can work that out, that's just a skill thing, you'll be golden. So in closing, buy one from the links in the video description below. You'll be enjoying helping Brian Phillips RC fund their channel, but also you'll be enjoying this bike. I think you guys are gonna really like it. And then also, I just want to show you something, okay? So like, if say somebody needed a ride, you know, you're not supposed to put them on this seat at all.
You're not
at all.
to.
Don't sit there and ride on the back of this bike.
No.
It is not designed to carry 2 people. I mean, it seems like it would probably work in all practical purposes. It's possible it could work. But it is not. But it is not designed to do that at all.
No.
So want you guys to hear that loud and clear. Don't put a passenger on here at all, unless you really need them to get somewhere, like in an emergency. So I love the way it rides. Also, you can adjust your shocks up front. I didn't mention that. I don't plan on adjusting them because I'm not an expert.
But yeah.
So if you guys want to see a little bit more about this, we're going to go ahead and do a speed test so you can ride along. And that'll be the last thing before we wrap it up with storage. And then we'll get into the unbox. So stay tuned. Okay, just to show you how easy it is to ride this bike, I'm going to just hold it. And then we're just going to go, okay? So here we go. I'm just legit holding this. I've got access to my brakes. One thumb here. I didn't pay attention if there's a cruise system, but as you can see, we're going forward at a pretty good pace. Totally safe, totally comfortable, not even pedaling. Feet are totally still. Oh, that's a cool shot right there. So as you can see, going uphill, full bore, you get about 13, 14 miles an hour if you're darn near 300 pounds on this thing. And then we're gonna crest out here, so I'm gonna let go of the stick and we'll just go ahead and, you know what, one-handed and all, I'll just go ahead and go off-roading a little bit. There's off-road for you. And then we'll turn around here. We'll go off-road on this thing here. See, no problem. There's the log I ran over, just so you can see how rough it is. My camera was bouncing around like crazy, but I was totally comfy. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so we're gonna go full speed for this pass. I'm totally comfortable. You can see the camera crew coming up. Kind of windy. .3. I pedaled to get to 25 last time and then maintained, but this is a pretty good amount of hill coming up here. So hopefully you guys are gonna be able to hear with the wind noise and stuff. But as you can see, the thing is just cruising along. I mean, it's like, I'm not like not moving here. I'm moving fast. And everything feels nice and solid. There's a little bit of wobble on the front wheel at absolute full speed, and you could probably fix that. You notice there's a little bit of brake noise there. I'm gonna hold the handle again and just get started here. Okay, here we go. Full throttle, no pedal assist. I'm gonna try to give you guys a shot so you can see what's going on. No pedaling here. Looks like we're up to about 23, 24, 20, almost 24. And the wind's blowing at my face, so we're not gonna be able to get that. You guys see the windsock? It's blowing right down the runway a little bit. So that's gonna slow us down some. Well, it's a good thing we did this on a nice, not windy, wet day.
Yeah.
Because the brakes squeal the whole time. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely go 25 on this thing. Mm-hmm. Pedaling gets you over the mark. Now, you're not gonna pedal a whole lot faster though, because the gear ratio is not gonna get you that much faster. You might be able to go 27, 28, I'm guessing. But it definitely gets you there. It's not hard. I didn't even take my key out. But just so you guys know, when you're in the on condition, the key doesn't seem to come out, okay? So when you turn it off, the key comes out. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So when you put it into the on condition, you're not gonna lose your key. That is important to me because I don't wanna lose my key.
Yeah.
So with that being said, good job guys, cool bike, heybike.com. Follow the link in the video description below and you can help support Brian Phillips RC to bring you all sorts of crazy things that you didn't even know you needed until you watched our video. And yes, this thing is no exception. I'm super excited that we got an opportunity to review this for you. And obviously, as we branch into new and exciting territories, we always appreciate you guys supporting the people that support us, like Heybike. So if you guys think about it and you're in the market, follow the link. It helps us to build clout with our different companies that we work with. And we really do like this product. If we don't like it, we basically don't do it. So that being said, we have thought we would like stuff and then found out it was garbage, but we also tell you that too. Mm-hmm. So without further ado, stay tuned. We're gonna show you putting this thing away so you can see it going between the car and the truck, and then we're gonna show you the unbox build and radio setup, except there isn't one. Thanks for watching, guys. So guys, I found a new exercise routine. It's called Pogo Stick.
This is what happens when we turn the camera off.
So if you're wondering, it does have a lot of spring to it. You can turn that down if you don't like it, or you can lock it off if you do want to have a more firm ride. Let's show you the same thing. I'm gonna turn around. See, nice and stiff.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
So with that front locked, you definitely feel more in control when you're braking heavily. So I actually kind of like the way it rides with that locked. But if you're gonna be off-road a lot, you're gonna want it to be unlocked. And then for me, I may just wanna find somewhere in the middle and just adjust the amount. I don't know if I honked the horn yet for you. I think I did. But I do notice that when I brake heavily, you definitely leave a lot of your tire on the road. So, sorry, I couldn't in good conscience not share that. I really want to drive off that hill for you guys, but it's just so dang wet.
Yeah.
Can we do it once? She says yes. Let's do it slow at first. All right, here we go. Ah! Oh, that was good. I was still in 7th gear. 7th gear is not where you want to go down a hill. So as you guys can see, even us fat, out of shape people can ride that bike up that hill. That's a big hill.
Yeah, it is.
So in closing, don't shoot your eye out. You'll love this bike. Remember, I strap myself to a chair with a parachute over my head and intentionally fly into the air for fun. So this is a lot safer than that. So maybe if you're looking for a compromise with your spouse, you'd be like, I promise, I won't PPG if you let me get that bike.
There you go.
So then there was one other thing one of our subscribers suggested, and it's a great trick. If you need to get something into the basement, because we do a lot of stuff on our reviews that need to make it to the basement and they can't make it through the living room where the wife might be. You just have to let her know there was a snake down there and you'll be good. So remember, honey, I gotta go get that snake in the basement.
Okay.
Just call her on the phone and be like, hey, I got the snake stuff. I'll be home in just any minute. And then she'll probably leave. She'll probably leave. She might be gone for a couple of days, in fact. You bring that thing in, get it downstairs. Next thing you know, you're bringing it upstairs like, I've had this for 20 years. Looks pretty new. I got the snake at least. Oh, I love you. See? That's how it works. All right, more life advice on Brian Phillips RC. Stay tuned. All right, so I wanted to show you guys one more thing. Right here is the way we park our cars. Now, your garage may not look exactly like this, but I know that a lot of you have the same issue we have. And that is you have this weird choke point in your garage. And so when you get a bike, you're always thinking, okay, how easy is it gonna get out? How easy is it gonna get back in? How easy is it gonna charge in this case because it's electric? And how easy is it gonna be to unfold and put in the car? We've already showed the car, but we never did show this. And I just wanna show you, this is where we're storing it right now. And this is just a real life scenario here. So real life meaning that the kids actually have a bike propped up against it, which is a real life scenario. If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. So this is what we've done here. I have to work around my truck, and every time I go to get in it, I've got crap to walk around, but I can fit because of this. This one feature seems like such a non-issue unless you're bringing your bike with you somewhere. But this for us is huge. It solves so many different storage problems, you'd be surprised. And then even with everything engaged, bike and all, I can very easily take this, collapse that, then I can use it just like I've always moved around bikes my whole life, is I'll walk them up on one wheel, and then I can pivot them around. And even the heavier bike, I mean, granted, this is only the second time I've done this. You see those pedals? That's the next thing that always causes problems. In fact, I can't even put a regular bike through here, because look at this. It fits right through. You want to give them a shot from the other angle?
Yep, let me go around. Even our kids can barely get their little, 10-inch bikes through with little teeny pedals.
So as you can see with those pedals collapsed, it fits perfect. And now we're not doing that just for movie magic, guys. Look at the marks on the floor. That's where we always park.
Yep.
And so even though we have all this land and space, we managed to use it up 100%, at least as it pertains to the garage. So, oh, cool, helicopter. Sorry, only because of the aviation channel.
It's like way out here.
You get to see the helicopter. So anyway, if you guys are looking for a sweet bike, we think this one might do the trick for you. I'm super excited to be able to bring you things like this, and Megan and I are really happy with this product so far. I would just say, I mean, how often do you get a chance to film a bike with hay in the name in front of a hay pile that looks like a pile of garbage, but it's actually hay? Not very often, so you have to take advantage. And then also, just having a rack that allows you to do useful things is huge. It seems, when I first started looking at e-bikes, I said, they're kind of ugly, those things. But now I'm like, why doesn't everything have that? It's like exactly what you need. So form over function, if that's your deal, then you may not like the rack and you can take it off. But the thing is, for me, I like having it because it gives me some way to carry around tools. So very happy with this thing. The fat tires are everything I expected. It's been rainy and very windy. And so obviously we've had a chance to try this in the grass, even when it's wet. And it does not track around near as bad. If you try to do that with a skinny tire like this Mongoose, whatever Walmart brand sort of junk that we've got in here that are oldest Sun rides, it would just tear up the yard. And of course, you're not really gonna off-road with most bikes unless you've got some sort of a fat tire. It really makes it a lot easier to get off-road. So anyway, without further ado, guys, check out the Heybike. Follow the link in the video description below. You can get one for your very own, and you'll be helping to support Brian Phillips RC when you do so. And if you don't like this particular product, obviously the link is gonna be a link to the website, and I guess they have an anniversary coming up, so there is a sale going on. So definitely check the links in the video description below. We don't try to bait you guys with sale items because we understand you might be watching this video in like a year. And so we don't know if you're gonna hit that 10-day window or 5-day window or whatever it happens to be. We just want you guys to get the no BS review, and we try to bring you as many details as possible so that you can make a good purchase decision. We understand that everybody has limited budgets, and especially when it comes to stuff like this, it's pretty expensive and you want to make a good decision. So we're here to help you in that regard. So definitely stay tuned. So much more coming here on Brian Phillips RC. As you can see, the wind socks are indicating crazy, confused winds. So while it's still windy, we're going to keep doing some ground stuff, but we definitely have some aircraft in order as soon as we can possibly get it filmed, because we don't want to film videos of aircraft in terrible weather. And we actually were a little bit nervous that we wouldn't be able to get this even because the wind was so bad we couldn't get audio outside without having all sorts of trouble. So if we had any noise other than just riding and having the wind go across the mics, we apologize for that. We'll try to do our best we can to muffle some of that for you. Any other thoughts on this bike?
I think that's it.
So guys, thanks so much for watching. Definitely check the link in the video description below. Also, we have Patreon, PayPal, and then links through to Brian Phillips RC, which is our new website. Camera crew has been, it's like a labor of love or a labor. It's like a labor for the camera crew. She's been working on it like crazy, and it's been very labor intensive, but we appreciate you guys checking it out, see what you think of it, and give us some comments as well if you have questions or comments down below. We'll try our best to get to you as soon as we can. Stay tuned. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. I'm gonna get the box. No. It's over here. You guys may notice from the picture that this is a different item than we normally do. We have done a few of items like this, and this is probably the heaviest one that we've had to do, and we are super excited to bring this to you. It's the Heybike.
Hey.
Hey.
Bike.
Hey guys, Ranger. So not only do I overuse the word hay, we process hay from this land, and now we're gonna be processing this hay from this box right now for your very eyes. Super excited. And more dad jokes coming along the way. Just so you know, there's a handle on either side Our poor FedEx guy carried this like this, and I'm like, dude, is that an airplane? No, it's not an airplane. I felt so bad when he picked it up because this thing is pretty dang heavy, and there are 2 reinforced handles on both sides. It is not too much for one person to move, but it is a lot easier for 2 people to move. This is a pretty heavy bike. And when you get into the e-bike scene, that's not uncommon. So what I'm gonna do is, for visibility reasons, this is the black version. The gross weight of this package is 89 pounds, okay? So 89 pounds, and this is the size, okay? This is black, and it's called the Ranger. So it's got a low frame, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to open it this way, the way I wanna do it, but I'm gonna just put it up on an angle so it's easy to see. I got some scissors here, and I got a utility knife. We're gonna see which one works better. My concern is, it feels like when I cut these straps off, it looks like the way this box is gonna come undone is it's gonna have to be kind of slid off the top, but I don't know that for a fact. Because if you look at this, there's an inner box. Sometimes when you get huge packages like this, you gotta be a little bit creative. I don't see instructions on opening it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. There's a little slot in my knife. So
All I see is the this side up arrows.
That didn't work very good, by the way. Good thing we're not reviewing this knife. So yeah, so we're excited to bring this to you. We have had a really good luck with our electric bikes and our electric scooter, and then we just recently did some hover shoes the other day. So we've done all sorts of things that go on the ground, and give them a shot of the windsock just so they know we're not cheating on them.
No, we are
Guys,
not.
it has been like incredible all month. We've had maybe 3 flying opportunities. So it's actually been legitimately challenging to get good footage because there's just so much, it's so windy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The weather's been terrible. But I mean, even for a bike, it's kind of bad because we filmed outdoors the other day and it was terrible for audio. So we're not trying to keep you guys waiting, we promise. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to do this kind of careful, and I'm just looking as I go. I think normally you would kind of unfold these. Now I think the whole thing will come off the top. So let's just look at the bottom.
Okay.
I have not opened this before, so the staples were a little bit loose on the bottom. They sort of came out easy. Yeah, that looks like the right way, actually. I didn't watch any video on how to do this, but I'm sure somebody's done it. Oh yeah, that's definitely the bottom. There's the wheels.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just thinking about this logically. Would it make better sense to just kind of rotate this around? Now I don't have socks on or anything because we're just inside, and these staples are pretty vicious, so you need to be careful about those. Yeah. And I'm thinking about the floor. And you know what I'm gonna do? I normally don't do this on camera just because it's a little bit pansy-esque, but the reality is I don't want to scratch my floor.
Yeah.
So we do long format videos here on Brian Phillips RC. So if you're watching this because you're into e-bikes, you're like, why is this RC guy doing a bike? Well, first of all, this RC guy has done another bike before, and he's done, stop cat, show him the cat. This is a troublemaker.
She is.
She was sitting there trying to put her claws into that chair. We've also done chairs, and we do a ton of airplanes and a ton of aviation related stuff, but it's all about the RC lifestyle, the aviation lifestyle for us. And part of the aviation lifestyle for us has been that we have necessitated a larger piece of property so that we can fly from it. So that means that we have sort of this weird, unique circumstance. And so we have put ourselves into situations where we need a lot of weird things.
Yeah.
Like chainsaws that are on long sticks, which, I mean, some people use that all over the place, but in our case, we're gonna use it on our channel. And so when you see us reviewing weird things, and this is what I'm concerned about, I don't wanna scratch my floor, and I'm sure you guys are gonna be in the same boat. So we just show the whole process, you know, because sometimes these things, it doesn't have any arrows. This side, it does say this side up, but it doesn't say like, don't tip it over. I'm just trying to do this in a smart way, and I want to be as careful as possible with my stuff. And you'll see lots of unboxings where they'll just blow through it like it's going to take 1 second. And you know, then you'll see me who will talk about it for 10 minutes as he unboxes half of it. We try to strike the balance between cutting through the BS of what you might see on another video, and that includes showing you steps like this. Not hard, it's just something that we want to do. Okay, so I'm gonna fold this up like this, then I'm gonna try to tip it back down. Okay? So when we deal with our partners, like the people that send us these products to review, they probably are a little bit surprised that we're gonna do it this way, but that's fine with us.
That's the way we do it.
That's the way we do it. So if you guys come to Brian Phillips RC, if you're coming here for a bike and you're like, I didn't realize you did radio controlled stuff, well, now you know. And if you're coming here because I do radio controlled airplanes, and you're like, I didn't realize you did bikes, well, we do. Here we go. All right, so now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then I might need help because this is just long enough. You see?
Is it loosened on both ends, or do we need to pause?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to pause, and maybe what we can do is set that up on the tripod and we'll come right back. Okay. All right, so I got some help. This is my oldest son. And this side feels like it's attached, but his side doesn't feel like it's attached, right? Okay, so I'm gonna actually pull this handle out. I don't know if that's connected through to something, but what I'm trying to do is I feel like there's an inner liner that I can pull this around, but it's attached. Okay, there it goes. Okay, straight up. Just go. And I'm gonna grab the bike just to support it. Yeah, oh yeah, there we go. We're good now. Andrew, watch your feet. Go straight up. Don't let it tip. All right, let's just walk in the living room. Drop it on the side. All right, thank you, buddy. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna set that box down. That box is heavy, guys. And as you can see, this thing has been like probably all over the planet. I don't know exactly where all this stuff comes from, but there's definitely some wear and tear on the box.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's on this side too, towards us.
Yeah, no kidding. There's almost always one spot on a package that ends up having a weak spot. This side is untouched.
Yeah.
See? So whenever we unbox these things, we always try to show the full unboxing, because really, what's the point of an unboxing? Congratulations, you opened a box. Most people can figure it out if they try hard enough. But the thing is, the unboxing can be telltale on exactly how bad the thing got beat up en route. Mm-hmm. So we make a point, and if your handle's popped out, then it doesn't matter. Like the handle is just going through a double thick cardboard, and that's what's used to help lift it, okay? So I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything to it. Big, super thick, super strong foam. Definitely not like the foam that protects the foam from the foam on our airplanes. This is the high density stuff, but it's super squishy, okay? Looks like the handlebars were into that. Okay, and then same thing here. All this stuff just falls down. There's the kickstand. It's got a really big kickstand on this bike. Okay, so when I was saying earlier, the reason we end up doing some of this is because we end up with a lot of property. That's part of the lifestyle of flying. And we're gonna fly from this property, and we already fly radio controlled airplanes, but we're gonna fly real airplanes from here someday. And in the meantime, we're flying PPG. Okay, so I see zip ties. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna, and I don't know, I mean, we go like into details beyond what would be totally required to get the job done. Okay, so there's bubble wrap. That could keep our kids busy for like 7 months. So we may be listening to The Godfather happening downstairs for the next 7 months. Oh my goodness, man, there's a lot going on there. Show them the people.
That is like intense looking.
There's a box on this side. There's 2 boxes on this side. No, they wrap the handlebars with the box, and then there's a little box down there. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if it'd be wise to just try to get that off of there, because I don't know how all this tips. This has fat tires on it, which I'm super, super excited about. Okay, so that is loose, by the way.
Oh, okay.
It's held on by zip ties. Okay, so this is a hardware box. So let's pop that out. Don't even really need a knife to get it opened. Okay, sweet. So far impressed with the packaging. I mean, it could be heavier, but to be honest with you, at 89 pounds, That means these guys, when they pay for delivery, oh, that's expensive.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm not sure what's in here, but it's heavy. Holy crap. It comes with an entire wrench set. Ooh.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, double-ended. 14 millimeter, that is sweet. Okay. And then we've got the pedals. Okay, high reflective on both sides, that's very good. Doesn't look like they have lock-in points here though, which surprises me. But there again, you know, you're not gonna need to use lock-ins on an electric bike. And plus these are just standard.
They seem nice and heavy though.
They do seem heavy. Was that covered in grease when you did that?
Nope, was not.
You might.
Well, the plastic part wasn't. Left.
Okay, it's riveted top and bottom. See, riveted there. It's heavy duty plastic it looks like, but then it's steel here. So I don't know what I think about that yet, but I guess at this point I'm just gonna reserve my judgments. I'm gonna put them back in here just because I think there's grease on them. Okay. So we'll leave that right there. And then there's this box. So anyway, oh, charger, okay. Heavy, heavy.
Oh.
That's good. When your charger's light, you know it's garbage, okay? And believe me, we have reviewed a few things that have light chargers, and the lighter they are, you bought further down the totem pole, let's say. It's gonna be garbage. Okay, so this is a nice heavy duty extension cord, nice grounded AC plug, heavy duty computer style molded entrance. That's good, you like these things. Doesn't look like extremely heavy gauge. This is the type of thing that keeps you safe when you get some heavy duty electronics like this, okay? So you gotta check this stuff over good. And then it's got a microphone plug.
That is strange.
A 3-pin microphone jack. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, cool. And then it's got a cooling fan. Okay, so if they got cooling fans involved, then let's talk about the voltage real quick. So this is a lithium ion battery charger. It's AC 120 in at 60 Hertz, 2 amps of draw on the input side, and then 54.6 volts DC at 2.8 amps. Good Lordy, Lord. That is a lot of juice. So, yeah, like over 100 watts. Wow. That's a lot for a charger that comes with a device like this. It's uncommon that we experience large chargers like that. Now this is the instructions. Okay. All right, so it looks like 13 batteries. Charge 13 batteries. Okay, high voltage inside the charger. Okay, so there's high voltage inside of here. That's pretty obvious stuff. So be careful with the charger, obviously. I haven't decided if I want to keep the box. It's a nice size box, but I don't think it's going to go back in there very good because the nature of all the cabling. So let's go ahead and get this thing set up. I was hoping we could start charging the battery while we're doing our build, okay? And as usual, if you see an unbox on a bike channel, they're generally just gonna kind of like time lapse the thing. And I'm not saying it's a super hard build. I don't think this is gonna be a very hard build. We do have an outlet right here, so let's talk about this for a quick second. Right here, okay? So we are gonna plug this in here. And then that'll be ready to go. And let's see if there's any lights come on. Okay, there's a green light that came on, a little bit of delay. Rubber non-stick or non-slip pads. That's nice, but the wire is just got big memory on it. That wire will be nice and supple after the first charge, I bet. Okay, so let's put this out of the way. Put our tools up here so we can get to them. Now we need to start cutting zip ties. Now normally I don't bring in tools that I don't need for an unbox. Because I know a lot of you guys may not have access to every tool that we use, but I am gonna use side cutters because it's gonna be a lot easier. Side cutters are gonna cut the zip ties. Okay, so I'm just looking at the side, trying to decide the easiest way to get at everything. I haven't seen an instruction manual. We did in that bag actually. You know what? That might be worth looking at. We once built a pool, not on this channel, thank God.
Oh my goodness.
And my dad had ordered it. It was an above ground pool. And I think this thing was like 28 feet long or something. It was huge. Big. They built a 50 by 50 deck around it. So anyway, long story short, We never found the instructions. Turns out it was in like the 8th box.
Yeah.
So we ended up hiring somebody to build it. They found them. Thank God he did, because we thought it'd be easy. Oh man, you want to talk about a difficult build.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at this. What tools did it come with? These are like heavy tools too. 14 millimeter on both ends. Okay, chrome, heavy duty, jeez. Usually you don't get quality tools in these kits, you get garbage tools in these kits. Okay, 13 millimeters, 15 millimeters. Another Allen wrench. Don't know what size these are, but we'll figure it out. Looks like it goes step, step, step. 10 millimeters and 8 millimeters, okay. And then another step. Looks like we got this little set there, and then we've got these nut covers, which we're gonna probably need to protect our legs and things, okay. These appear to be the same size. They're kind of like a squishy, rubbery sort of feel to them. All right, so the instruction manual, heavy duty vinyl, waxy finish on the front. Congratulations on your purchase. Don't write until you read this. Okay, I read it, we're good. Okay, so this talks about the different pieces and components. There are keys, sweet. Okay, it looks like there's an LCD. Looks like this guy's playing ping pong. One of the reasons I got this bike over another one is because of the handles. Okay, everything looks like what I expected. This shows the 2 wrenches and 3 Allen keys. Well, we got 3 wrenches, so that's kind of interesting. Okay, so we got the 3 for 2. All right, assembly. Here we go. Whoa, is that, ours isn't folded that much. Look down on the ground, show them what it's got. Ours is folded less than that. So I wonder what that means for the assembly. Looks like we have to put the front wheel on. Locate the front wheel. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have to probably undo it because the drawing doesn't really tell us what we've got. Looks like they must have shipped this in a different manner before. And so I don't know, maybe if this goes overseas directly from a distributor, they might actually change the way that you get it. So hopefully this video will be as helpful as we're expecting it might be. This is obviously gonna be the front wheel for us because I can tell it's sort of loose. So I'm gonna just start cutting it, okay? So just look for a spot where you can get your clippers in there. This is a guard, like a mud guard. I don't like the way this wire is going through here, but it's not a big deal. Oh, looks like the chair. That's what was holding on the chair. Okay. And I'm just walking on the cardboard. That's the noise you're hearing. Yes. Whoa, cool. Nut threads must be, look at that. That's your adjustment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because there's a spring-loaded seat. Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, finally. Not a crappy chair.
I'm gonna
wow. Look at that. They designed this for a human with an actual butt. This is crazy. And then this, I don't know what that is, but it looks like some sort of a, oh, that is freaking sweet. Oh, yes. Look at this. Feel how sturdy that spring is. That is awesome. Okay. So these are the types of things that get me excited. So we got a lot to look forward to on this bike. A couple things too, just background on the channel if you're not used to it. We've been running this channel for what, like 8 years?
7.
7 years?
A little lower.
Almost, okay. And we basically have found ourselves doing reviews on all these like random things. And when I say random, I mean they're all relevant to what we like and enjoy and kind of the lifestyle that we've set ourselves into. And part of the reason that we end up reviewing these otherwise strange random objects is because we want you guys to see how we got where we are, what we're doing, and how we're gonna stay where we are and why we do it. Okay, so hopefully you'll get a little bit of that. Feel how heavy this is. It's not that heavy.
Oh,
I would think it'd be like crazy, but like this fat tire, that fat tire is not that heavy. I thought it was gonna be huge. And then look, it's got the disc brake on there. Okay, to use this hose. Yeah, it looks like a reinforced water hose. Okay. And then there's a reflector in there that's removable. There's Phillips screws that are integrated into this. This feels like, that's like an aluminum wheel. That's aluminum, holy crap. That's like a spoked aluminum wheel, that's crazy. And then of course you got your air here. This is 20s by 4, okay? So that means 20 PSI, 140 kilopascals or 1.4 bar. Nylon, I don't believe these are tubed, but they could be tubed. And then look, they've got the Chow Yang 3 hippo skin. What? How many hippos did it take?
That seems like a lot less than 3 hippos.
Tree. Shree hippo. Don't worry, kids. No hippos lost their lives for this video that we know of. Brian, you bring up a hippo? No more room for you. Okay, so anyway, continuing along. So it looks like we're down to kind of like the handlebar. It looks like this is, oh, that's the front handlebars. Why is that off of there? Oh, it screws straight in.
Is the rest of it all attached though now? It just needs to be unfolded?
No, I'm just kind of studying it because it's hard to tell with all the wrapping around it.
Yeah.
Right here, there's a big zip tie that holds this up. So I'm just gonna cut it. Yep, that dropped down. Okay, now if in doubt, just start cutting, but just be careful it doesn't fall on your leg or something. Okay.
I am a little concerned about that on the floor. Can we throw a piece of cardboard, that small piece of cardboard under there?
Yeah, I didn't notice that. Thank you for noticing that. Here, better, I'll one up that request. Okay, guys, thick foam. It's not super heavy. You gotta remember that's been banging around all over the world, hon.
No, I know.
Well, it does make it pretty tipsy though, hon, that's the only problem. Okay. So yeah, I don't know.
No, maybe cardboard then.
Maybe we'll have to do a little something else. Yeah, you just hold it for a second if you want. I'm just kind of looking at how this comes up. I don't know if that just goes in. I mean, obviously we have to stick that in there. Mm-hmm. Whoa, that's weird. So as you tighten it, that bites.
Oh, weird.
See that? Mm-hmm. That split design. This might be a little bit awkward. I just want to make sure I can see what I'm doing. It is attached, or we would just kind of, you know, not do this in a weird way. And then I don't know if I need to keep that or not, but I'm assuming we won't need to. See, there's our pivot point, but they chose not to pivot it probably because they can get it a lot smaller if they pull that out. Okay. So part of this Unbox build and radio setup, folks, is just to help you understand what you're getting into. I'm gonna have you hang on to that still for just a second. I gotta get scissors.
Yeah.
Are you good for a minute? Mm-hmm. All right.
My filming angle might be a little funky, but.
How about you stand and just kind of straddle it with your knees? There you go. Okay. Good. Oh, yes. There's the screen. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and cut this. Being super careful, there's the Shimano shifter. I believe that's, or is that Shimano? Yep. Mm-hmm. Sweet. Okay, hold this handle. Mm-hmm. Does that feel like leather?
It kind of does, actually.
Okay. Let me flip this around, please.
Yep.
Go ahead and step back. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna sort of, hey, hold that like you actually have to hold it. I'm trying to make this angle. And I'm not 100% sure I'm getting this right, but I think I am. Oh, shoot. I don't know what I just unplugged. Oh, that's just the plug for the lights. Oops. Oh yeah, I did that correct. I did that correct, but I hope I didn't break anything. See this, guys? That's for the lights.
Okay.
So that went under. Gosh, why is that so tight? Oh, that isn't even mounted.
Oh, jeez.
So we could have just pulled that out of the cup holder, guys. I'm sorry. Or the bottle holder. And let's just cut that free. Oh, baby. That is nice.
Wow.
And, you know, you want to know what's better about this? Look.
It pivots.
You can pivot up and down.
Yep.
We have a couple of e-bikes and e-scooters, and when you can't, oh, and a reflector. Thank goodness.
Oh, nice.
They thought of everything. Okay, and those are big lights. I hope they're bright. They must be Oh, you know what? That's probably got a horn in it too. Or it's a heat sink, one or the other. But anyway, that's one of our complaints is that when you get, I don't know where this mounts to. It must mount down there.
It might mount right here under my thumb. Possibly there's like a bracket thing here.
Does it slip in? Well, I gotta get this to where we can have it stood up. So why don't I just lay this down for now? Anyway, if you can't point down or up, many times you point the light in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And also, you just saw what we did wrong there. Okay, let go.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to tighten that somehow, and I just don't know how that's gonna happen. I bet we're gonna have to open this first. So you could actually stand up and then just hold a handlebar.
Okay.
Okay. So far, everything packaging-wise has been good except for the front. This was supposed to keep those, the forks, yeah, in that position. Let's see if the instruction manual tells us what to do to tighten that.
Okay.
They're talking about the front wheel still. There we go. Take out the stem and insert into the frame, which we did. Make sure the stem is aligned with the direction of the tire. Unlock the latch, pull up on the folding mechanism. Fold the handlebar perpendicular to the ground and then tighten it. Okay. And then fold it back up. So let's just do that real quick. We're kind of in a weird spot, so I would like to get to where that handlebar is something we can reconcile. Look at this cat.
Yeah.
What the heck? Get off of that!
She's playing a game.
No, she's trying to put it in her mouth. Look, don't do that. Stop. What are you doing, Callie? Don't eat that. It's not a cat toy. Get out of there. What the heck is she doing? Oh my goodness.
She's our nosiest cat.
Her brother's about to become not very masculine tomorrow. He doesn't know what he's got coming for him. Okay, you keep holding. Yeah.
Oh, okay, keep holding.
I want to get this lifted. It's like a safety latch. And then this folds down. Okay, so that's very easy. Oh, look, they have an adjustment.
Oh.
Wow, that's nice. Guys, this is like way, okay, you can let go.
Okay.
This is nicer than what we've had in the past. Now, I don't know, like, how do you tell if it's going to end up being aligned? I think we've already made the alignment, haven't we? Gosh, that's hard to tell.
I guess I'm not 100%.
I'm not 100% sure how the heck we're supposed to know. I guess we'll find out if it ain't right. Okay, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. We're just gonna have to tighten it. Okay, so I just grabbed the first one I could get that I felt like might be about the right size. And I'm just turning it, tightening it. Clockwise. Okay, so righty-tighty. Now I'm gonna put it in here. Okay, so as a dyslexic kid growing up, I always hated righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, because I'm like, well, it depends on if you're on the top of the sweep or the bottom of the sweep, if it's going right or left. But that's okay. Yeah. Clockwise or counterclockwise?
No. Well, clockwise and counterclockwise is hard to explain to a kid too.
Yeah, that's true. We have children. We have 4 children, and our 4 children are homeschooled by the camera crew. She was a teacher by trade for over a decade, and started staying at home with kids when we piled them up enough. Is that right?
Sure.
Okay, so that's on there. Okay, so it's working so far. We'll definitely want to reevaluate that. Let's show them these real quick. That is awesome. That is so nice.
Yeah, those are really nice.
Feels really good. I like that. Then there's a protective film over this. That's nice. There's an adjustment here for height. It shows right now it's at 5. It looks like there's 7, and then this goes in and out.
Oh, nice.
Probably several centimeters. Light, horn, plus, minus, brake. This is gonna be sweet. Down, throttle, up, down, brake, 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 brake. Okay, cool. All right, so camera crew, if you can hold that for me. What's next in the instructions? I think they're saying we should probably get that front wheel on, don't you think?
That would be nice. Or get the kickstand uncovered and see if we can.
Ooh, it's already uncovered. That's a great idea there. See, maybe we can just literally put, oh, guys. Okay, let go. Does it hold?
No, because I think there's too much
It's not enough height.
under here.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and get the wheel on next. So the next step, and this is the hard part, is that I can tell this goes over on the caliper side, so, but then I don't know if the mud flap has to be in there first. So let's, I'm gonna look in the assembly instructions. No, it looks like that's installed after they tell you to put the wheel on. Yeah, you put the wheel on, install these are the covers for the front, fork, and then I think we're gonna need these, so I'll bring these. Woo-wee! Don't do that, guys. Okay, so we'll just come over here like this, lay the tools down, and then can you hold this with your hand? Mm-hmm. This would be easier with 2 sets of hands.
Yeah.
For sure. Or if you build a lot of bikes, you might have stands and that sort of thing. But my concern is more that if you get somebody that's really not mechanically inclined, you're gonna have to probably put a hand out there. I wonder if we can take a minute and see if we can get this set up. So we'll pause and come right back. All right, so we're gonna keep going. I put some gloves on. We put this on the island because it was awkward on the ground. Now, full disclosure, when we unpackaged this, I wanted to point, we kind of cleaned up for about 5 minutes and now we're back. This was the damage point, okay, in our box. Now, it never made it outside of the package, the outside package, but they had glued on with double-sided tape, these little black things, which I'm gonna show you over here. And these little black things were designed to reinforce the box in various areas, okay? This was not present in that spot. So I think when they were building that box, they forgot one of them. So that's why ours got damaged so bad in terms of the box. Now, we also noticed one other broken piece of plastic, and we're gonna keep our eye out for this. This is part of what we do. I think that's a zip tie. We're about 99% certain that is a zip tie. It does look like a zip tie now that I sit and study it. Okay, so that was just a zip tie. So we're keeping eyes out for stuff like that. Just, you know, you always want to inspect a machine that you're gonna be riding on. And this is a fast machine, actually. It'll go like 25 miles an hour. So you wanna make sure it's right. Okay, so now that we're up on the counter, it's nice and stable and easy to work with, and we've got a sturdy surface we're not worried about damaging. Okay, so we need the brake lined up this way. Hypothetically, the next step is to put the wheel on, but what I'm gonna do instead is wisely take all this packaging off, because the packaging makes it hard to see what you're doing, okay? So these are nitrile gloves. I use these for work and then also for play, because it keeps your hands warm when it's cold outside, and it keeps the grease off. We link to them all the time because people ask about them like a million times. And they're like, what's wrong with that dork? Why is he wearing gloves? It's because I don't like getting dirty. When you work on machines all the time, you're like, yeah, I don't even know what this chemical is. And you do that for like 20 years. Next thing you know, your hands are all like weird and deformed, and you got like 7 or 8 fingers on one hand and like 3 on the other.
You've just kind of trained yourself to work with gloves.
Some people hate working with gloves. I actually kind of hate not having gloves on. It's weird. And I work on electronics too a lot. And not electronics.
But you are kind of a
Man, look at this. So. This is, yeah, I am. But it just blends into the bike, so hopefully it doesn't make for bad film. I'm just loving all this protection that they put on everything. There's like a little protector over the actual brake light and reflector. That's a brake light, by the way. And look, there's sealant all over where the wire goes in. Just, guys, this is attention to detail. I didn't think this unbox would take very long, but it's kind of taking a while. And the reason it's taking a while is for good reason. If there's a time that I want a long unbox, it's on a bike because I want the thing to hold up. And the more packaging there is to remove, that means the higher probability of success getting it all the way across the ocean, or if it didn't come across the ocean, wherever it came across the country. I do not know where this is made. I don't care. I'm assuming it's China, but I don't know. I mean, did you see the name on the tires? I guess the tires could be made in China and then everything else could be made in America. Who knows?
The box said made in China.
Yeah, like, I mean, they don't use hippo skins around here, do they?
No, I haven't seen a lot of hippos recently.
Really? Did you go to the zoo?
Well, it's been a while.
There's no hippos in Iowa. Are you kidding me? Not even at the zoo.
Nope.
We gotta go to Omaha or Kansas City for that sort of thing. St. Louis?
They have them at the St. Louis Zoo.
Oh, they do? Okay, cool. Well, destination St. Louis.
If you're from St. Louis and I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I've only been to your zoo like twice.
Okay. We're now apologizing to zoos. We've done everything.
We didn't even offend them. We just apologized.
Man, this assembly looks really nice. I can't believe like how much of this frame is welded together. Like, look at all that. That's crazy. I'm kind of like looking at where all the attachment points are. There's an attachment point here and here. That'd be a bear cat to get to because your tire's gonna have to be off to get to that bolt for this frame. You can see that one. You can see this one, but you're not gonna be able to get to these very easy. So I wonder if they used, nope, if they would have used a regular head on those bolts, you could get to them while the wheel's on. That's a bit of a disappointment because I want to be able to get accessibility. Oh my goodness. Come around. Okay, so this is the battery. This is the part I was looking for as I was unpackaging because I wanted to get this done, okay? So, as you can see, they even have the protective covering on the lock. That is so sweet. Okay, so this is how you take that out. I just don't know exactly how, but if you do that, you can make it a lot easier to move. And I want to get this charging, okay? So, oh, we could put the pedals on too. Are those zip tied on? Why are they zip tied on? Whoa. Okay. What is that? What is that anyway? Is that like a chain protector? That's welded onto the frame. I'm not sure why that's there. I wonder if it's something about the way you would ship it if it was folded. The way that they used to fold these for shipping. Or does that just go around the chain and the wires? Oh, you know what it does? It protects the wires. There's wires that go into the bottom of this.
Oh, wow.
Yep, that's a 48 volt, 15 amp, 3 amp charge current. Yep, 720 watt hour battery. And it says it all over here. There's a power button on top. And yes, this does have a USB takeoff, which is pretty sweet. So you can sit there and charge. I'm just trying to figure out how to get this out. I don't know if I'm maybe missing a release, which is totally possible. Oh yeah. Oh, you have to unlock it.
Yes,
Look.
I was just turning the page of the manual.
Okay, so there's a key. Oh, that is so sweet. Okay, so that's evidently, that's on, that's off. But then there's push, unlock. Okay, push, unlock. Push and unlock. There it is. There it is, guys. Whoa. Buddy, that is a battery. Feel it. Grab it from the handle.
Oh my goodness.
That battery's heavy. That is so cool. Okay, so then, okay, I don't know if it's totally dead or if it's just not activated maybe, or maybe because it's locked. Put it to the on condition and then look. Put it to the on condition. Okay, so it goes all the way up and then all the way back down. So it actively has a circuit that does that. Microphone jack, good protection from splashes. See how this twists down and it just falls into position? See how it's got a cam spin on it? As it cams down, that seems rinky-dinky as heck if you ask me. But this goes that way, right? So if you imagine, it's actually, that's the forward side of the bike. So I don't like that. I wish it would have been the other way like that, because then that would have kept that protected. I wonder if that was supposed to be done the other way. But either way, let's go ahead and plug it in. We'll note that this is green. And there's 3 pins. It's obviously keyed. It's not hard at all. It just goes right in.
Change to red immediately.
Yep. Here, you do it. I'll hold the battery just so you don't have to worry about it. Oh wait, do we have to put this in a charge condition? It says unlock, off. I wonder what happens if you put it to unlock. Now plug it in, see if it charges. Yeah, it's not hard at all. You just
it's not.
Slide it in. It's actually really, really easy.
I was expecting more.
We have
resistance.
The other bike that we have has a drum connector and it slides in, and it's a real light duty thing. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, by the way. I'm just saying that's the way it is, like on our hover shoes too.
Yes.
So, and by the way, that thing gets hot when it's charging. So we're gonna
keep an eye on that.
Cooling fan is working. Here, we'll just pop off the mic. Rode wireless too. You guys hear that? So the cooling fan is running and it's definitely producing a very low noise. I can barely hear it from across there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
if
that's
you were
awesome.
talking, you would not hear that.
Yep, you would not know it's going. Okay, so do you have to take the chair off to take the battery out? No.
That's why it tips.
Ah, that is so smart. Guys, they've thought of everything. This is so sweet. Okay, so I'm actually just gonna plop that in there then. I don't even know what size we need it to be. They have a min insert, which I thought it said minister at first. It's like, what, minister? What does that have to do with anything? Min insert. Okay, so that's the min insert. What is the min insert?
Well, I guess it depends on what you're after.
That's true. Okay, we're gonna unlock that. There's adjustment forward and backward on this seat. There's adjustment up and down. There's adjustment in the spring tension from inside on the actual spring here. There's a lot of adjustment.
And easy adjustability is important to us because we tend to
share
share stuff like this between the two of us.
Okay, so now that that's done, this has actually worked to kind of help chalk the bike so it doesn't fall over. But I think we should look at this stop. The kickstand seems to be just a little bit too long for what's going on right now. I feel like there is an adjustment right here, okay? So doesn't it look like that doesn't like really go to the right angle? Because that's up.
Well, it's hard to...
Well, because there's no front wheel on.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with you. So I'm thinking maybe at this point it would make sense to go ahead and put this on too, because I can get to it.
Okay.
But I said I was gonna unpackage stuff. We're supposed to be putting the front wheel on. Goodness gracious, Brian, you got distracted by like everything. I'm kind of excited by this bike. Whoa. Okay, so let's show them this. We got Shimano derailleur, good protection here. Everything is got little guards around it. Nice, that looks like stainless steel. That might be nickel plated chain, I'm not sure. Zip tie, make sure you get your zip tie out of there. That would not be a good place for a zip tie. Replaceable reflectors. Looks like the motor is here, right? Is that motor here? I can't tell.
Thanks.
Yeah, so the wire is right here, guys. There's a wire that goes right here, I believe. And then it goes into the motor, which is integrated into the wheel. So that's interesting. I'm not sure if that's good, bad, or ugly, but I mean, it kind of is what it is. So I'm certainly okay with it. That cooling fan is going a little bit more than it was earlier. So it must have kicked into a higher speed. And then one of these, that just slipped off nicely. It is labeled clearly. Show the people there. It says right. Oh, there's also adjustments for the struts on the top. There's also a lock and unlock. Okay, so if you want to keep it solid or if you want to have it locked. I mean, I'm assuming in our application, we're going to be driving on our property here. And part of the big reason we wanted this is because we want to go off-road with this thing. Yep. We are not in town, we are out of town. And if we want to go in town, we got a long ways to go to get there.
Yeah.
So I believe this thing folds in the middle too. Okay, so let's cut this. Now, surgical precision is probably not necessary. If you've unboxed one of these, you probably won't have this issue, but I'm just trying to be sort of careful because I love the finish on this. It's got like a flat black, matte black, but then I've noticed on a few of the spots, it's kind of got a metallic speck to it, which is really kind of cool. But it all kind of matches nicely together. It's kind of like a complementary black on black look, which is cool.
I did like the way the white one looked too when we were looking at them online.
Yeah, they also have a white one.
The white one does look nice, and it's kind of that matte.
There's also a mix, I think. like a black and white mix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought, but I might be.
Well, they have a couple of different
models.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna obviously link to this in the video description below. If you wanna help support our channel, you can buy from the links in the video description below. And when you follow, then we're affiliated with certain companies. So obviously, you know, we want you guys to get the best bang for your buck. We really don't care where you spend your money, but we do appreciate you buying from the companies that we have partnered up with. This is one of them. So of course, hopefully we find out this is an amazing bike and it's worth every dollar. But at the same time, we appreciate you guys checking that out. So definitely check out the link if you're interested in buying this. I'm looking at this bike and it is looking beautiful. And we get a lot of stuff that's designed by Chinese people for Chinese people. And I finally feel like maybe this is a big enough bike for a 6. I think they said 6'2" was the maximum body size for this bike. And what was the lower body size? I can't remember. It was like 5'7".
I think we were both within the range, and I'm like almost 5'8".
And then I think the max capacity on this was actually well over my size. So this will be the first time that we have reviewed a ride-on equipment that I'm not over the weight limit. So that's always kind of cool too.
Are you for the scooter?
The scooter I might be within weight range. Okay. So because I can, I'm just gonna go ahead and put these on. Now, these are left. That says right, so that'll go over there. And this is left, okay. These are, I thought these were folders too. Oh, they are folders. That is so nice. Oh, you see that? That's why it's got that weird assembly to it. So you'll be able to actually fold those out of the way some.
Does that thing come off?
I'm kind of thinking it's gonna make sense. So this one has to go counterclockwise to tighten. Okay. Stick that to my glove. Now, I know some of you guys are probably thinking you should put some Loctite on there, but I honestly don't know. Did they say anything about using Loctite?
I haven't looked.
Let's double check that. So if you guys aren't familiar with Loctite, Loctite's like a liquid ingredient that you put on some thread locker. Let's just verify we don't need it. Okay, fully seated and secured in the drop valves. I'm not really seeing anything about the pedals yet. I know I saw it.
There's pedals.
Then tighten pedal by Allen wrench. What? No, it's not an Allen wrench, it's a wrench. You don't use an Allen wrench to tighten those. What the heck are they talking about? Oh, wait. Oh, there is an Allen wrench. They weren't wrong. There's an Allen wrench. You put it in from the backside. You don't tighten here. You can use something to brace this. And yes, that is grease, by the way. So I'm gonna need to probably get a paper towel so I can wipe that. Okay? So I'm gonna use this 15 millimeter. And the 15 millimeter is going to allow me to brace. I was gonna say, why is there an Allen wrench involved in this? Okay, so this Allen wrench looks like it's like the 3rd biggest. Okay, so this one is right. So I'll go ahead and peel that. Or if the camera crew can help me since I got my, oh, no, it looks like I'm gonna get it anyway. So folks, if you're watching this and just thinking, geez, Brian, you covering all the steps. Yep, that's what we do here on Brian Phillips RC. So if you're interested in radio controlled airplanes, aviation, the farming stuff that we cover, and property management stuff that we cover, and just the general lifestyle things that we review, then you'll love this channel. And if you don't like long format videos, you probably won't like our videos because we go into all the detail that everybody else assumes you already know, like you're a genius rocket scientist that is also knows everything. We don't know everything. We just like to do some stuff for YouTube because we have figured out how to do some of this stuff. Okay, so we're just gonna, I still don't quite understand why you need the Allen wrench. Like they say to tighten it with the Allen wrench. I don't understand why. Why would you use the Allen wrench?
interior like mechanism in that pedal that would be tightened?
I don't even understand why you would ever do that though. Like I really don't. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I suppose it's possible that you could use it, but I just don't think it makes sense at all. When you've got this tool, it's like so much easier.
Right.
See, and I'm not gonna like go crazy on it. Yeah, you're fine. I got a hold of it.
Okay.
I don't know what they're talking about. That seems pretty good.
Well, maybe they changed the pedal style or something.
No, now I'm getting nervous and I'm gonna miss something now because of that. It's just another way to tighten it. I mean, it's not, it definitely makes it easy to torque down, but I don't really see some big advantage to doing it that way either though. So yeah, I mean, maybe the bike tools, like I have an inch-pound wrench set, socket set that I got for my powered paragliding, and it has hex drives in it. So maybe that's why they recommend using that. Because the guys that are really avid bikers might have a certain torque that they want to put them. There was no torque requirements in the manual. Okay, so remember that step 1, put the wheel on?
Yeah,
okay.
That wheel.
We're gonna maybe do that now.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to have some tools handy. Let's get those figured out. 14 millimeters. So they evidently at one point were only giving you 2. They must have missed that.
They forgot one.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, they didn't miss the tool, they just missed it in the manual. Yeah, that is most definitely. Now there's a huge bearing in there. You're in your light if you wanna, there you go. See that? Nice big thick bearing, bushing, the alignment thingy, washer, and then nut, okay? I don't know how all this is gonna go. And then kind of the same on the other side. I'm gonna actually hang on to the shaft and loosen the nut to the loosest position. Okay, then we got a washer, then we got this, then we got the bushing. There's a bearing here and a bearing here. And then there's of course the brake caliper. So I need this to go like that. So now camera crew, this is gonna be where you're gonna have to basically just kind of spot me. Just grab the rack so it can't tip.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm gonna lift this up. This is probably where, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna zip tie the lock so that it hangs on for us. And I don't know if see this fluid on my hand?
Yeah, I just noticed that too.
I don't know if that came from maybe the brakes. It's totally possible. I just hope I'm not getting oil everywhere. I think I'm gonna grab a zip tie. If you don't have zip tie, you know what? Why don't we show them with tape? Because most people have tape. Okay. Back side of the tape. Just come around, hold the brake. Okay. And that way you don't get making a mess all over your handlebars, okay? Got it? Okay, so we'll just leave that tail because that's gonna hold the brake so I can pivot the bike up on end. I was gonna use the zip tie in the same manner. Okay, let's move that light. I don't know how that light got there. Let's just slip it over here. Perfect, thank you. I'm sure I picked it up. Okay, you're just gonna spot it while I lift.
Okay.
It's not especially difficult to do this stuff. It's just awkward to do it without a second set of hands. Okay. So if you're building this on your own, see if you can get one of your kids to help you maybe, or a neighbor or friend. Huh. Just a piece of plastic. Just drop this down. You're doing good.
Okay.
Okay, I can see I'm just lining up the caliper. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff. And then I don't know if this bushing goes in or out yet. I gotta back this nut off and walk that out. That's gonna go upright. I need to come back some, so.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. All right, so here we go. And if you're doing this on the ground, you won't have that same problem we're having. Now, camera crew, if you come over here, I have a hold of this.
Okay.
The wishbone, so we should be able to kind of manipulate and control this now. See how this is way over here? I've got the wishbone over here too far. There we go. Okay, so I'm just You want to come around to the side. You don't need to hold it anymore.
Okay.
Okay, see this little triangular sort of thingy, doohickey? Okay, and then there's a bushing. I don't know if that bushing is supposed to be in there or not.
Do we need to grab the...
No, I just want to kind of get it to where it's held in place. Okay, now I'm going to go to the other side. I feel like those spacers are maybe supposed to be in there, but I can't tell for sure. Yeah, let's look at the manual quick and just double check that. Okay, so we're cheating because this bushing here, I need something to point with, needs to be here so that the wishbone can come down in this gap. See, it won't fall down because it's too thick. So I have a little bit of weight on this because obviously the bike is on it. So it's gonna pop down when I get this pushed over. So watch your threads if you're doing it my way. And just kind of walk that over a little bit carefully, and there it goes. So now once it starts dropping, remember, I've just got this thing, the back brake is on, so it can't roll on me. And look where my hand is, see this? I'm just controlling the wishbone, and I've got this on my belly. So it's working really easy actually now that I'm at a good height. Okay, so that's in. Now we can just torque that down a little bit. Remember, we gotta come around here and we'll show them the other side. Same exact thing. So we got the bushing. This is the little bushing thing. Then we've got that little safety. And then we've got a washer and then this nut, okay? So now we're just gonna force that in by hand and then force that in by hand. And I've got more threads on this side, so I'm gonna actually back that off a little bit and then I'm gonna tighten this side if it'll go more. Yep, it is. So what I'm doing is I'm just making the thread exposure even on both sides. So show the people what I'm talking about. You can come over here now. So show them from the front. You see this, how we've got threads exposed here. There's like maybe 2 or 3 of them. And then over here, and I haven't torqued anything. Okay, now I'm gonna take and just, again, I'm gonna just go up against, I got the kickstand works now. So now I'm gonna just take both and I'm gonna turn opposite directions. I'm just tightening both sides. Okay, so just like this. And then I'm gonna take my handy dandy tool with the closed end, not the box end. I'm gonna put it on here. I'm just gonna give that a little bit of turn, but I'll notice the other side turned. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn, no, you keep here. I'm gonna turn this and you guys can watch what I'm talking about. Oops. See how it's spinning? So what you may have to do, now we're on our own, like we're standing on our own 2 feet now. I'm gonna use a 15 millimeter. It'll work to brace the other side. If you have a crescent wrench, you can use it too. Okay, but you just can't have the same tool in both places at once, right? So all you're doing is you're bracing this. See, that's loosening, that's tightening, okay? I'm just gonna torque it down pretty tight. Now this side wants to slip off, just note that.
Right.
Because it's a 15 on a 14, okay? So those are tight. Now I should be able to tighten. Yeah, but it still wants to walk on me. So I'm gonna just experiment for the sake of your understanding as you guys are at home watching this, saying what type of tools do I need to supplement this kit with? I'm actually kind of amazed that I'm having to do this because it came with so many tools. I'm gonna go ahead and break out a crescent wrench. This is optional to a degree, but I just wanna make sure I get a really torqued down bolt.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's tight now. Now I'm gonna put this over here. Because remember, it's just a shaft that's threaded on both ends, okay? And I have to go push away from my belly this time. Oh yeah, okay. So everything is good. Now remember, all that's doing is it's going into a bushing, a bearing. So you're not spinning on that bolt, okay? So if it was going into anything else, then, you know, like if it's actually spinning on the shaft, then you would not be able to torque it down because then you would prevent it from spinning, okay? If that makes sense. All right, so it's like built.
Done.
That's crazy. I mean, that was not bad.
You haven't even pointed out the cup holder.
Oh, that's right.
So excited that I had one.
Yeah, I mean, it has a bottle holder, which is pretty cool. And then
Which
we
a
got to
lot
put
of them don't, which is
we're not
crazy.
done. We got to put on the mud flap and the light.
And then do those covers go on now?
These things.
Yes, those things.
See how they go. I don't know exactly if there's like you just force it on there. It's kind of like maybe there's like a bigger and smaller size. No. I don't know how the heck you're supposed to get that on there. Goodness gracious. Well, it just goes on there. You just kind of have to work at it. Okay, watch yourself just in case. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm aligning the nut pattern with the direction of the pattern, okay? And then it just goes. You just kind of have to rock it, no big deal. I have a sneaky suspicion those things are gonna be gone quick.
Probably.
Because I don't see how they couldn't get knocked off by something. Okay, so when I get ready to move this, I'm gonna be like, why doesn't it move? Because I have my brake on. Okay, instruction manuals. I don't know if you need this anymore. This was the thing that came on the end of that. Or was it this? I don't know, but I'm just like, just as I go, I'm just kind of looking through the parts saying, do we need that? Is that something we have to keep? Usually, and to be honest, the parts count of things we don't need, it's pretty much exclusively packaging, which is not uncommon. The box is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really big. So your kids will be happy about that if you have young kids. All right, so the next thing, real quick, on means locked on frame, off means locked to frame, off, unlocked from frame for battery removal, okay? And you have to push it in to turn it, okay? Okay. So there's a startup procedure. Ooh. We'll maybe look through that off camera for a second. Yeah, everything we've done so far is pretty straightforward stuff. Okay, so we'll go through that. I was hoping I would see the installation of this immediately, but I didn't see it right away. Ah, here it is. Here's the two screws right here and here, okay? Now this bike can be purchased with different basket combos. We intend to ride this off-road, so I'm actually very, very, very happy that it has, ooh, do we have scratches? Let's see if it comes off with just a rag. I think it's just, you suppose that would come off with water?
I don't know.
Let's see. Looks like it might be just, yeah, it looks like some real minor scuffing. You know, it's probably not a big deal. It is a mud flap. That's a little bit disappointing. I mean, as much plastic as they put on stuff to protect everything from itself, I think that damage could have come from our failed piece of plastic on the side, because I don't think the bike would have checked the same way it did. And real quick overview on tools we used. We used this crescent wrench. We used this, happened to be flat bladed screwdriver. You wouldn't have to necessarily use those. I did. I used a pair of scissors briefly to unpack it. I used a standard utility knife. I used some side cutters. They were not included. And then these lineman pliers I didn't end up using, but I had them available if I needed them. Everything else so far we've been able to use from the toolkit. I do think it's interesting because we haven't touched that, which I don't know why. We haven't touched this, which I don't know why. We're probably about to find out though, because it looks like there's a nut. Now this does have Loctite on it, already pre-applied. And then this has probably the smaller size. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna, wait, that's too small. It's next size up. So what the heck is the small stuff for?
Well, we still have to do the light.
Oh, that's not, what is that for? Is that a basket mount?
Well, where does the light go?
The light goes here, doesn't it? Oh wait, you're saying it goes up there?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, well, unless there's a bracket somewhere that I missed, which is totally possible. Okay, so you see this? Okay, high quality washer, high quality nylock. Everything's, looks nice. I have to assume that this mounts from that side. That's not where the light goes, you don't think? What's the instruction manual say? Oh, that light goes down there. That must be where another one of the racks goes. Okay, thinking about that right now, guys, I'm just noticing that these are loose. So if you're intending to keep those intact, which I would highly recommend, better get in there and tighten them. And look at that. Different size. Well, that's kind of weird. So we're gonna get the right size and torque those down here in a minute. But for now, I'm gonna take this, pass that through. Oops, gotta put the light on. If you're not putting your light on, you can skip the step with the light, obviously. So we'll just pass this through. I don't know if I need a washer on the other side. You know what? Uh-oh. Okay, our lamp bracket is different than the lamp in the picture. Ours is not twisted the same way. This lamp is lower than the lamp pictured in the diagram, okay? So I just wanted to show you what I'm doing. There's a washer here, okay? That's gonna go like that. Then this nut I knocked off with my tail of my shirt, and I have the washer right here. I don't think that that needs to be on the other side necessarily. I'm just torn between, do I wanna put that there? So it's between the frame member and this thing? Or do I want it, you know, like this? I don't know what's best. See, I feel like that's gonna bite, but it's still pretty narrow. You know, I feel like you're not gonna get very good purchase if you don't have the light all the way up. So I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way up and we'll see if this works. You wanna come around to the other side there. See, there's a nut welded on there to give some strength. But see this nylock, I think they want you to put the washer on the backside. There's some of these steps, it'd be nice if the instructions would give you a detail, because it's not like a big deal, but
If it matters,
you know, like
nice to know.
if it, yeah, right. And to be honest with you, I would have rather than a nylock, I'd probably just as soon have a lock washer and a nut. But that's just me, I'm unusual like that. Some of you guys probably disagree with me on that. Okay, so this nut, of course I didn't manage to pick out the size before we did this. It's 10 millimeters. And then I'm just gonna lay this off to the side like that until we get some pressure on it. Okay, so we're just gonna torque this down. Now the shipping on this bike, guys, we were super impressed. It came fast.
It did.
I think we had, they said it was 3 to 8 business days shipping. We ended up having ours, and I think it came from California in our case, the ground shipping part of it. We had it super quick. Now I don't want to make that a sales pitch because like we never know what shipping is going to be like for other people. But in our case, it was very fast, and they shipped it FedEx.
Ours was FedEx
FedEx ground. But I think that kind of depends on your region, so I don't want to make commitments for them.
Yeah,
we have no idea what they're
Midwest,
going to.
so.
Yeah, maybe it's best rate, and they've got some sort of a contract with FedEx and UPS. I have no idea. Might be DHL for you, might be US Postal Service. I doubt US Postal Service is going to deliver this.
Yeah.
They would contract that out more than likely. Okay, so I don't know can you see from that angle pretty good? Just basically, I just have this here as a jam, and then I'm just going up with it really. I mean, like honestly, as tight as I can get it. Because I know this is going to be a point that's going to want to come loose. I can just kind of tell. But you know what? We don't have a lot of stuff like that comes loose in my experience, right? we did have the chair come off on our other bike, which is mounted to the battery. And might have had something to do with being like 80 pounds over the weight limit and trying to half pipe the ditch. And then it came off like this, and don't worry, I was protected. I was protected from the impending penetration. Nothing came of it, thank God. Okay, so this has 3 pins, and it is keyed like that. You see what I'm talking about? Those 3 pins are small, by the way. Look how small they are.
Yeah.
Jeez. There's plenty of length. I don't know if I'm supposed to go through like that though. I think that they show it.
Well, our bracket's a little bit different, so.
Well, but what I'm saying is, do I want it here or do I want it out here like it would have been pictured in the drawing? I don't know. Or do I want to go under the wishbone? No. Do I want to go under this? Ooh, that might be the ticket right there.
That doesn't seem like you have a lot of extra.
But then, yeah, there's going to be play. This is all the way up. When it compresses down, I don't want to get it in a pinch point. So I feel like if you did this, it'd be a good protection for the wire, you know? But then if you tip this down a little bit, see, that's what I love about that is you can tip that up and down. I think that's what we're doing.
Okay.
I just don't know if I want to go under or not because I don't want this popping undone again. By the way, the thing is in the cup, in the drink holder. I don't know, is that enough? I mean, it is turned, like, is that to an end stop? It ain't gonna, you know, look, you can turn all the way past. Nope. That's gotta go in front. It's fine. Oh man, that thing is hard to unplug, which is great. It's gonna keep it dry. I feel like it's, see it pinch my glove. I just don't know if we're doing that wrong. I feel kind of like maybe that's supposed to be out to the side. You see the clearance issue I'm concerned with? See, I can turn the thing all the way around, but then look, if this went under, I feel like you'd get a better, you're gonna have a point where it wants to ride. This is more of a longevity thing at this point.
Right.
You see what I'm talking about?
Okay.
So I'm gonna actually undo this again.
And go under.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna undo this from that frame. I felt like we had pretty good protection there, but I just don't know if I trust it. I'm actually just gonna go under it. Because this is all smooth here. It's not sharp at all. Okay, make sure you line up your keys perfectly because those pins will break. Okay, so now we test again. So far, so good. Okay, good. We'll revisit that here in a minute. So while we've got access to this, hey, look at that. That's, we still haven't used the smallest one. You guys can kind of hear that charger going too.
Mm-hmm. Can we put my mic over there so they can hear it?
No, I already did that.
Okay. Well, it's a little louder than it was, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not just quieter in here?
You're still talking.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so there's that. Washer, high quality bolts. Then this just slipped up is all. Now is that supposed to be in or out? Drawings. They showed on the outside. Slide the fender through the fork, reattach the bolt and washer. That's not a very good detail. I can't tell. Can't tell. Looks like it's on the outside. Mm-hmm. I think it's on the outside. Let's just do the outside.
Okay.
I think if you went on the inside, you'd rub the wheel. Okay, so we're just gonna torque this down. And I'm just gonna tighten it all the way. Probably make it hard on the other side, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah, this is, I feel like the way we did it is a little bit of a deviation from the instructions just because we just kind of took things as they came. If you want to do it exactly as it's listed in the instructions, I don't think you're going to have any better or worse time, to be honest. Just the way we try to film stuff kind of impacts the way things go sometimes. I like that because that protects your brake line. That's pretty cool. Ooh, well, it's not sharp at least. I kind of would like to see that positioned a little different so that it's like coming back into itself or something, because I don't want to catch that on everything. Not unusual on a bike though. Ooh, that's really torqued in there, jeez. Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw that, but they're mechanical disc brakes. Oh wait, are those hydraulic? I can't tell. Looks like there's, I think that's a hydraulic chamber. Yeah. Sure looks like a hydraulic system to me, but I'm not 100% sure. There's just a standard linkage that goes up top, but then there might be a hydraulic caliper here. Maybe it's just mechanical. I should probably know these things, huh?
I thought you told me hydraulic when we were looking at them, but I don't remember 100%.
I feel bad if I'm saying it wrong. I don't want to mislead people. I'm just going to say at this point I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to check the manual, see if it actually says. Okay, so I'm just kind of holding this in place. I feel like that doesn't look like it's straight, but it totally is. It's straight, 100%. We had a really hard time putting the mud flaps on our last bike. We had to do some serious surgery on that thing to put the mud flaps on.
We did.
It was a lot tighter bike though. Like small bike. Oh wow, that's so cool. Okay. All right, so I don't even know if we talked about it, but let's show them this too. So now that it's all in one piece, there's a release here. You can undo the middle of the frame, and this folds in half as well. And then you can also release this, which we showed, okay? So I think at this point, let's just, while I don't know if I wanna like put tools away necessarily yet, but I wanna just kind of, we have it chalked, so we should be able to take this brake off. So it's just tape, guys. So if you did it like I did, then it's just tape. So now it's not brake. Now it's not got a brake on, so it might try to roll. That looks pretty sweet. Mm-hmm. And then for size comparison, about 6'1". If you go over there, you can, I mean, I hope it's probably gonna be a little easier to get on and off when it's down here on the ground.
Probably.
I would hope. But everything looks really good. Let's give them some close-ups of the workings here. So this, I believe, and I'm just gonna brace this. Which way does that go? It goes in and then it folds out of the way in a matter of seconds. Now that does save quite a bit of room. It doesn't seem like it's a lot, but it is actually quite a lot. Okay, then it just slips back over. So that's pretty sweet. Obviously the left and the right both do that. The kickstand is now at a perfect angle, really heavy duty. It's one of these nicer plasticky ones. There's an adjustment screw where my middle finger is on the inside there. If you decide if you wanna go to the other side of the wheel, you might be able to see through maybe. Do you have to turn the light on or can they see?
No, you can see it. Yep.
So if you need to go up or down a little bit, there's some adjustment there. Obviously this is gonna give you protection for the back. I like the trim, I think it looks good. Obviously the brakes, there is a light. Nothing's gonna work right now. Let's show them where the wires, where the electrical hooks up. So when you slide the battery in, there's 4 huge contact points here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And everything looks otherwise tight. I wanna check these screws. Yep, those are tight. While I've got access to them, I just wanna see, because those are the sort of things that I find on bikes are never totally done. It's like the assembly never quite ever gets done. So what I wanna do real quick is I would really like to see if we have the right tool to tighten that right now. Because you remember the...
Oh, just those little where the basket would go?
Yeah, I felt like they were loose and I wanna see if I can tighten those real quick. Actually, I'll get a full Allen set and we can tell you what size it is. Come on. Okay, so we were just cleaning up the box and we noticed on the bottom it says, please keep the packaging box for at least 30 days. Keep in mind, we pulled all the staples out. I used my fingers and I did mention that I didn't use those lineman pliers. I had used those lineman pliers to pull the staples. You could have just as well used this. I actually used my hands to pull out the staples on the other side and they went just fine. So I don't really understand why usually you can't do that. So, but we just collapsed the box flat just to show you how big it is. It's a big box, but if you have a car, if you have a garage, which you may not, then you can slide this under your car and then just park on top of it. So that's one thing we do once in a while when we have a big box we need to keep, because we get a lot of big packages with reviewing airplanes. Then also I mentioned that there's a USB plug on the battery right there.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's underneath the handle. So if you lock the handle, I don't know if the handle actually locks, but I'll just take off the rubber band here. I don't know if there's like a better way to do that, but I just got that off of there. Okay. That's never locked, okay? You understand?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So just wanted to show you that. Now this is currently charging, so just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna go ahead and shut off the cooling fan, went to green. And by the way, cool to the touch, will you check that too? Just give your opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So that is a big factor, guys. We have had a number of different electric bikes, utility vehicles, things like that, where the charger gets extremely hot, like scary hot. You don't want to burn your house down. So it's nice. If it stays cool, that's very good. That means it's well engineered. Okay, so this USB-A. In my case, I've got a Samsung Galaxy S9. Okay, so let's see. Comes up comes up and charges. Okay, so the screen, yeah, it's definitely charging. I'm just wondering how would you tell it's charging?
Should have the little like lightning.
Should be a red
on
light,
here.
shouldn't it? It says it's got the charging 98%.
Oh, wait, do you have to turn the battery on?
It doesn't look like, maybe it acted like it woke it up. But I just don't want to show my security screen. Okay, press the power button.
Oh, do you have to turn the key on?
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it to the on position. Now it's off. Now it's on. Now I can press the power button. You have to press and hold it, and it shows you the power status. If you press it momentarily, I don't know if it's saying it's empty.
Does it only work if it's in the bike?
Maybe it's charging. It doesn't look like it's charging, so I got to figure out what I'm doing wrong. Does it have to be in the bike for it to work? That would be sort of strange. Okay, so I'm pressing power. 3, 4, 5. I don't see anything special about it. It's definitely in the on position on the key. So you have to press this in to get to the full unlock setting. See how that moves out too? Okay. So that's locked on. So if you press that, it doesn't wake up. Maybe we'll try a different cable. Okay, camera crew thinks it needs to be in the bike. I don't know if it needs to be in the bike because I remembered seeing the thing is supposed to work in or out of the bike. So we're just gonna try this for the sake of argument. There is a gasket seal that can go in and it does seal up nicely. I'm gonna actually take and go to the unlock position because I believe you have to have it unlocked. Then I'm gonna just grab this, lift up, and the seat folds forward very easily. Then this goes onto the rail. I think that'd be easier on the ground. I'm just gonna guide it in. Normally you would just use that. Just goes right in, lock down, close the charging port. Okay, now we test camera crew's theory. Lock it onto the bike. Oh wow,
Ooh.
Lights.
Lights.
I see the light, cool. Then I'll lift up the handle. I'm gonna pop this out, push that in. And I'm just looking for red lights. It wakes it up, but I can't tell if it's charging or not. Normally it would have a charging. I can tell there's a status change, but it would have a red light if it was charging. So I don't know.
Is that on now?
Well, I press the power button once, press and hold it for 3 seconds.
No.
Then I let go. There doesn't seem to be a change. I'm gonna go to the off condition and then we'll try this too. Maybe it has to be off. That's one thing we haven't tried yet.
Okay.
Okay. It wakes it up, but it doesn't look like it's charging. So I just have my email contact address on there. So if somebody finds my phone. Okay, so we're gonna figure that out right now because I wanna answer that question that you guys probably have too. Okay, so this was driving me nuts. So I had Megan peel it off because I have my gloves on. Okay, so 2 things I noticed while we were not even to the manual yet is I have a Phillips screwdriver, again, not included. There's fuses here, okay? So I'm just unscrewing this and it says fuse. There's a fuse here and a fuse here. I am curious if maybe the fuse is just bad, just blown, okay? This is a mini bus fuse. Size is 10 amps. So I have a multimeter here. A multimeter is just a digital multimeter. It's set to ohms. And that is definitely not blown. So you can tell because when you touch these leads together, it goes to 0 ohms, which means there's no resistance. Okay, so it's the same as touching these lines together. A fuse that's opened, meaning there's infinite resistance, means that the fuse is blown. It's open, so it won't pass voltage or current through. So in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and stick this one back in. It's fine. Okay. I do love that there's a user accessible fuse. This screwdriver is actually a little too big for that too, by the way. I'm just gonna torque that in there. Okay, and then this one's another bigger fuse. I actually put this to the off condition. Okay, that's a big fuse. This is so much better than the fuse in the other bike. You had to like disassemble that thing to get to it. This is the full-size bus fuse. And this is a ceramic coated fuse, so you could actually get just a glass one if you're in a pinch. That is a 30 amp at 250 volts. Okay, now this one's definitely not dead or we wouldn't get any power. So we see it's infinite ohms, that's what that means. And then it goes to near 0 ohms. So I'm gonna just hold these. I have gloves on so I can touch them with my fingers. Okay, so we got 0 ohms. So this one is not blown either, okay? So probably a great idea to go ahead and get a hold of those fuses if you don't have them. I'm surprised it doesn't come with spare fuses on an electronic device of this nature. But let's be honest, if you blow that fuse, something's going wrong. Okay, so that all being understood, I think I'm gonna close this down and we're gonna reinvestigate the manual for a minute. Okay, we figured out what we were doing wrong, what I was doing wrong. I have this cord. This is a magnetic attachment point, which is pretty cool. If you're curious about that, ask me, I can tell you links to it. And it goes to our NX8. We have this little magnetic receiver. And I'm just gonna stick that on there, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you've ever seen that, camera crew. Okay, so I'm gonna put this to the on condition and there it goes. Definitely charging. Put it to the off condition, definitely stops charging. Put it to the on condition. You have to have it in the on condition. You don't have to have it on the bike and you don't have to press the power button. It just goes to the on condition, okay? So just to prove that, we'll unplug and then just plug this back in real quick. So there you go. All right, so now I'll go ahead and do the same scenario. Is that a USB-C? Nope, that's USB micro. So what I'll do is I'll show the phone waking up because I wanna show that that does work. Okay, so just to settle any doubts, we were trying to get this thing to work with the USB-C to USB-A, which is just a regular configuration for this Galaxy S9. So you got USB-C here, USB-A here. This is just a high quality, it's like a Belkin brand office supply store, expensive cable, with rip-off levels. And this is like the ultra cheapest type of charging pad that you can get for wireless charging, okay? So we're just unplug this and you can see there's an LED that's green. Blue means it's charging. So I'm in the on position. Okay, when I'm in the off position, you'll note that that goes away, okay? When I go to the on position, the light comes on, okay? So the circuit's on. But I just want to show you this. Now, I'm gonna hold this because my screen has identifying information. See how it goes blue? And then, I don't know if you guys will hear it. Yep. It's charging the phone. So I don't know, maybe I don't pay close enough attention to my phone to pay attention to whether or not it chimes when I plug it in. I thought it chimed, but I guess maybe it doesn't. Or maybe this thing is charging at a lower rate. So the reason we show you this is because we want you to understand that, I mean, there's like a possibility. Check it on your phone before you get stranded out in the middle of the desert without signal or something, and you know, you have to charge it and your life's depending on charging on this thing. So just be aware of that, because this is a huge battery and it's a really nice utility to have that USB port on there. I didn't think a thing of it until I started, you know, I was like, the gears started turning and I said, that could be really helpful if you're out on a long bike ride and you need some help or something like that and your battery's dead. Okay, so basically we've established that the USB port does work at least to 1 degree. So just test it on your appliances and see if it's gonna work fine. I'm gonna carry this thing around. And if you guys are curious about the weight of the battery, I am kind of curious myself. So we're gonna put it on a kitchen scale. The kitchen scale only goes up to 11 pounds. It's possible we won't get a reading. So if it doesn't fit, we'll take it down and do it on another. We're in grams, so we'll go to ounces. Oh, grams and ounces? Geez, who bought this scale? This is probably heavier than the capacity of the scale. Oh, it's in kilos. Okay, so 4.91, which would be 10 pounds, 14.3 ounces. So it switches, evidently it's a multi-range, so it goes to kilos after it comes out of the grams range. Okay. So you're looking at just under 11 pounds with both keys. Now, also in the manual, there is some talk of you cannot get replacement keys.
Yeah.
So don't lose your keys. If you want to make a replacement key, you can make a replacement key, but my recommendation would be get your key made right away and put one at home, because if you would somehow get separated from it, or somebody, you know, steals your key or whatever, they don't steal your bike, but they steal your key, which would be really a jerk thing to do, then you'll need to make sure you make accommodations for that, okay? So better to know now than not know. Okay, put it in the unlock setting and it's ready to rock and roll. So I'm gonna leave that way when I'm charging. Now you can charge this on the bike or off the bike. In our case, I'm gonna go ahead and just show hooking it up again. Super easy. I mean, it's like the easiest thing ever. So you're looking at about 10 pounds of weight for the battery, and that is a pretty significant amount of weight to take off of the frame. So while that's off, we can take this down, but let's go ahead and tighten these screws. We promised you to size these, and I'm gonna use my metric sizes because I'm assuming it's metric. Okay, so that's 2.5. I'm guessing it's probably no, it's probably bigger than that. It's probably 3.5 millimeters. Oh, nope. So it looks like 4. And if it's not 4, then it could be standard. Yep, that's it. So that's 4 millimeters, and no, it does not come with a 4 millimeter. So we've used a handful of different tools. I don't think it's gonna be out of the realm of, you know, what the type of person that's gonna buy a bike like this is gonna have. I mean, if you guys are getting a bike like this, you need to have a few basic tools. And you know, what does a set like this cost? About 10 bucks. I mean, if you're spending the kind of cash you're spending to get this bike, you can afford a $10 tool. But that being said, you do need to be aware some of these, and like most of the tools we have from tonight that we've been using, you can get in just like a basic toolkit.
Yeah.
You know, that's gonna, everything will, like this came from some crappy Allied brand tool set that I've had for 47 years.
Yeah.
You know, I probably didn't even get it myself. I probably like stole it from my dad's basement or something, you know, when I was 10 years old. So anyway, so that tightened those 4 screws. I believe that's for an accessory adapter to put on another frame mounted. They have a basket adapter for the front, and they have saddlebags you can get, I believe. And it's just the way you order the bike is dictated by this or that. So in our case, we opted for the back frame. And I think in our application, what I wanna do with this is I wanna put a chainsaw on the back, run a strap over, and then run out and like cut a tree down and then come back. So that might be a little bit different than what you guys are gonna do with your bikes. But we have some other ideas and we're gonna try those things. Obviously, the way that these videos usually go is we usually fly a plane or do whatever exciting thing we're gonna do, and then we do the unbox, build, and radio setup. In this case, it'd be the unbox, build, set up the charger, kind of figure things out, see how things work, see how things fold. So I don't know if you guys will be seeing this in chronological order, if you're gonna be seeing them in reverse chronological order, so you've seen the driving and the riding to see how fast it is before we go into these elaborate details. But one way or another, we really appreciate you guys enjoying this video with us. Heybike looks like a really nice bike. We're gonna actually take it down from the counter yet. I wanna show you guys folding it up and see if there's any difficulties we run into there, and then just kind of see how small it is when it's folded. Because obviously bikes, this is a little bit bigger than our other commuter style bike that we have. But it looks like this thing is gonna fold down pretty tight. So we're gonna come right back and show you that next. Okay, so we took this off the counter. It was a lot easier without the battery in there. And I turned it to adjust the brakes just a little bit, so I've got a little bit more bite and purchase. So I'm gonna actually just roll this through our living area just to show you it's nice and tight, it's easy to manipulate. I'm gonna show you a really tight spot here. See this, between the chair? See this, how close that is? I'm able to get through there, no problem. And then we'll just go ahead and bring it down. And what I want to adjust next is I want to adjust the seat. Okay, so like I said, I'm about 6'1", and I'm still going to throw my back leg over because I'm used to that. And I want to be able to put one foot flat-footed, so I'm just a little bit too high on here. So obviously you've got a quick adjustment here. okay? Now remember, stealing the seat would be a bummer, but that doesn't mean you're gonna get your battery, okay? So if you're thinking about anti-theft, you know, you do kind of have to keep these things in mind. The battery itself is locked in, but the chair is not locked in. Okay, so just when you start thinking about what types of things people would steal, I don't know if they're gonna steal your bike chair if they can't get anything else with it. Okay, so I wanna break this. This is a 13 millimeter that's included. And you can just adjust these two, because I wanna put the nose of the seat down just a little bit. Oh boy, that is really tight. Oh my goodness. Okay, there it goes. And then same thing here now. Sometimes they'll spin all the way through. Okay, so what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to adjust the nose of it down, because I prefer the seat to ride a little bit lower, a little bit more flat. Whoops. And you may not care. You might like it the way it was. So I'm not gonna be able to put a lot of weight on this. Oh yeah, that's too much.
Too much tip down.
Yep. I think I probably got it about right there. And so for this test, I'm gonna actually lower the seat down just a little bit further than it's gonna end up being. But if you guys didn't know how to do these adjustments, every tool I've used so far to adjust the bike itself has been included. Okay, I feel like, I don't know why I'm so inclined to like put my leg over this high side, because you can actually step through here. I think it's just gonna be like getting used to it sort of thing. I feel like I wanna go one click back. Ah, that was 2, that was 3. It's kind of tough to adjust. Okay, so we'll tighten that nice and tight. Tighten this, whoops, tighten that nice and tight. Now I can't say with certainty how much or how little I adjusted that, but that's a totally a preference issue. Okay, so then getting onto this bike, of course, is gonna be super easy. And I'm a big guy, so I mean this bike is plenty big. I can get to the kickstand from the seat, which is nice. There's definitely a lot of shock here on the front. You can shut that off. I think I'm gonna have to be off the bike. I can shut that off. And then it locks the yoke. And then you can adjust this for more or less spring tension, I believe. Mm-hmm. I haven't messed with it yet because I want to see how it rides stock. And then this thing has a lot of shock absorption in it. And then of course the tires themselves probably need a little bit more pressure to get up to snuff, because I feel like they're pretty low. And you can tell when I get on it probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's pretty good. The derailleur feels a little bit weird, but it's not been used at all. And I want to ride it forward before I have issues with that. The light control feels like it's pointed too much down for me. See where this is? It's hard to see as a driver. Oh. So let's give them that shot from like in my, see what I'm talking about? Okay, now you can kind of help me point this out. You see how that's down low? I feel like this whole thing needs to pivot up. So let's see if there's an adjustment for that. And there is, for sure. There's also a height adjustment here. So like if you're an off-road, if you're riding this off-road, you might want to sit a little bit higher. You might want to be down a little bit lower on the front and a little bit higher on the back. Just depends on, you know, how long your legs are. So there is an adjustment here to get you up and down. So I'm gonna probably actually drop that down a little bit, to be honest, because I'd rather not drive with my hands up high. And then the next thing I have to do is let's check this. I love that I can put the kickstand down easy. We have problems with that on our scooter. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this looks like it can pivot, but I don't know that it's gonna pivot without loosening. So that would have to be loosened in order to get to those, correct? Because once we loosen those, I'll be able to pivot the bar. Okay. Let's see if they gave us the tool for that one. Again, that was 13 millimeter for adjusting the chair. The chair itself, the angle of the chair. And again, a lot of this stuff I'm doing now just gets, okay, that is the smallest. Nope, next to smallest again. I'm gonna try to just loosen the ones I can get to. That might be enough to get the job done. Okay. Just doing a couple of quarter turns at a time just to see until this loosens to where I can pivot this bar just a little teeny bit. Again, this is preference issues. This is something you can talk to your bike professional if you have a bike professional setting your bike up for you. Or if you're trying to do it yourself. Obviously, the manufacturer recommends having a bike professional set this up. And, okay, yep, I'm allowed now to pivot that. Okay, so I'll just lay these on the couch out of the way. Obviously, we're filming this at night, so it's dark outside. It's a little better visibility inside here. So I'm just trying to get the whole thing because I want the pad of my hand to hit on this thing, this supportive handle. And I want to hit there. And I want to show you what I adjusted. There's a jam nut here. I'm going to loosen the jam nut, and then this whole thing can go in or out, and that's going to tighten up the line that goes down to the brake, and then you can just tighten that. See, and then that throws some of the slop away because the slop was significantly greater than that. The other place you could make that adjustment is right here. Okay, you can loosen that right there. And then you can pull this slack in or out wherever you decide you want it. Now, I'm opting to not mess with that yet. If I run into problems with brake authority or like too much brake or not enough, then I will adjust here first and see if I get enough, and then I can go back and make an adjustment manually. I can loosen down there, loosen this, run it all the way back in, and then tighten down there, and then it'll be better where I want it. I felt like the brake on the back in particular was just really kind of like too spongy for my taste. So I may end up having to do a mechanical adjustment here, but you see, even if you bring it out quite a bit, see the problem is you don't want to run this thing out so far that you're out of threads. Okay, and so then I can torque that down. You see, every time you make a little adjustment like that, then you just get it a little bit closer to what you want. Okay, so I'm gonna roll that just a hair forward, and I'm gonna get myself on the chair. The kickstand does kind of, I wonder if I can lean. Yeah, you can just take off and the kickstand will go. Okay, now I can see the plus and minus just fine. Plus and minus here. Then I can see the light, I can see the horn. I can see the throttle. I can definitely get to the throttle. I feel like just a hair more. That's probably about right for what I want, okay? So now that I'm where I want it, I'm gonna go ahead and torque this back down. A little bit at a time. I'm gonna go probably like half a turn each. So yeah, these are just the little adjustments and tweaks that you're gonna have on any bicycle. Electric bike or otherwise, doesn't really matter. And I do feel like it'd be easier if this was pivoted out of the way. I just don't wanna break that because it feels a little bit like maybe not super sturdy. And that might be designed as a safety guard against injury. If you were to fly off the bike and hit this, it'd just break away. And there is a protective cover on this. I'm gonna leave that on there for now. And then there's also a protective cover on that. Do you wanna pull that one off?
Or do you wanna leave it until we're ready to go outside?
Nah, you can pull that one off. I don't care about that one. Ooh, so satisfying. Ooh. Looks pretty. Mm-hmm. Oh gosh.
So you still haven't used that littlest Allen wrench yet?
Nope, for nothing yet.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that it's not going to be used. I just haven't figured out where it goes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm just going to get this tight to where I feel like it's really secure. And then I'm going to attempt to rotate these. And again, you know, I got enough strength, I can rotate that without any problem. Okay, so I'm going to just step out. It's so weird because I'm not used to having a bike with a low entry like that. It stands up pretty tall, which is good for storage. If you have a bike that leans a lot, you always take up a lot of room. So I think it's that time again where we're gonna go ahead and tear it down and see kind of how that process goes. If you guys are bringing this into an office building or if you want to store it in a car or something like that, I think this is a good time to test that. Obviously, we've already established that goes up really easy. Literally the flip of the middle finger just to get that lifted. That gets you access to your battery. You can do all this configuration for storage with the battery on or off. You can flip these by going in and then up. It doesn't save a ton of space, but it does save a little bit. It's definitely gonna be better. And you only have to really flip the side that you know, like say this is the walkway in your garage, you know, you fold that up. This has a safety lever that goes up. And then this goes, there's actually a spot for your thumb, see? Then that releases, and it allows it to pivot all the way over. I'm just watching my cables real close. It's the first time I've done it. It's a Velcro making noise. Wow, that is like way small. Holy cow. I love that. Oh, look at this. Does that lock? Does that lock too? I feel like it could if you wanted it to. Because there's a cam on there.
But that's so much smaller, like narrower.
That's a ton smaller. I love that. That is.
I don't know how many times I catch myself on like the kids' handlebars.
Or I catch the handlebars with a tractor that has 2,800 pound lifting capacity and about rip it in half. That's huge. Yeah. Love it. Okay, so then, so let's just see how this works. That's what that's for. That's a support to keep this off of your carpet. See, watch, because once you do that, that pops free. Now, I don't know how this is gonna work, but we're gonna do it anyway. I think I wanna do I wanna spin this around or does it matter? I don't know that it matters. We're gonna find out in about 30 seconds here. Oh, yes. That is so dinky. Oh, I love it. I do think it's a little strange that the kickstand is on that side. Wow. Holy cow. Show them from this side. Look, that's what that thing is.
Yeah, you can see it from over here.
That is incredible.
Yep.
I kind of cringe to think about this. Should we see if it fits in this closet?
Oh.
I don't think it'll fit in the closet. Do you think it would?
I don't think it will either.
Do you want to try?
Well, you're gonna have to take all my stuff out of there.
What stuff? There's only one stuff. But guys, look at that. I mean, it's awkward to carry, no doubt. It's heavy, but
if you have, so.
And you can take that seat off too.
But if you have like a corner like we have over here, if you have a little corner like this in an apartment or someplace that's smaller.
Oh yeah.
It's way more out of the way.
It still runs the wheels too. I hear something clicking, that's probably not a good sign. Oh, that is so tiny. I love how small it is.
Yeah. I mean, like we had a plant there.
That is crazy. Bicycles are huge. They're like one of the worst things to store.
And this is not like a little teeny tiny commuter kind of style bike. Like it's a bigger bike too.
I agree. So, that's awesome.
That's great.
That is incredibly impressive to me. It is definitely still big with the handlebars out that direction. It's too bad it wouldn't go just a little bit different. I wonder if sometimes you might be better to just leave the handlebars up, you know, because then you would be able to have it up here. It just kind of depends, because look, this dead space over here is a bummer, because I would have saved a ton of room. So the other thing I like is that while it's collapsed, you can still move it around pretty easy. Mm-hmm. Some of these things don't move so easy when they're collapsed. I'm gonna balance it on the front wheel so it's easy to move. Let's show you how quick it is to get put back together. I think it might be easier to do this first. Yeah, it still stands up fine. Okay, that's done. And I mean, it's like really quick. I feel like I'm running into something. Okay, and remember guys, we've done this 0 times.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. It's done.
Wow.
That is phenomenal. Super cool. Okay. Okay, and then let's just, everything feels solid. Obviously, like even without a battery, you can still ride the thing. There's no doubt. I mean, I'm not gonna ride it around in here too much. It's not very big, but super impressed. It is quite a bit lighter without the battery though. I mean, the battery is 11 pounds. So that makes up a pretty big difference. And then of course, moving this around, I mean, it's kind of heavy. When you get an electric bike, they tend to be a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I were to roll this out the front door right now, which I'm gonna put some sandals on. If we wanna go through that door, that's a big door. It's a tall door, admittedly. But let's just see how much trouble it is to get it out the door and then down the steps. So let's turn on all the mothership lights. All the lights, all the lights, all the lights. Is that all the lights?
That's all. Do you actually have the coach lights
I don't know.
on? That's the big lights.
Yeah, okay. So as you can see, we have the bike here. I'm gonna leave the kickstand down so it's easy. I'm gonna use the back brake and the front brake just because it's easier to grab both. And then I'm just gonna bring it through, see how tough this is. I mean, it's like really easy. Okay, now you see this rack? That rack could be a bit of a problem. I'm gonna brake on the back, get a little running start over the threshold. Woo! Okay. And then let's see how this goes. Can I go down like this? See, the kickstand's still down and everything.
Yeah.
That is pretty stinking sweet. It's an absolutely no problems getting that out. I'm sure with practice it would be maybe slightly quicker too. Okay, so let's just see. Can I just jump on? Looks like, okay, so the camera crew has alerted me that I'm too fat for the low pressure that's in these tires. So basically, I'm gonna go ahead and show you, we got this awesome air filling tool that we've actually done a review on, plus kittens, shameless kittens. So if you're curious about this thing, the Azuno air filler. Okay, so these are 20 by 4, and it says, what is the specification? I thought it was like 20 pounds. Okay, 20 PSI, max inflation, 20 PSI. Okay, so I don't know what we actually need, but we're gonna try this. Whoops. Oh geez, they were way low. Okay, so that's like 18 and a half. Why don't we run them at 18 and a half? That'll be just under the recommended max. You might want to run them a little lower if you're off-road, but if you're on-road, who knows? I guess it just kind of depends on your taste. I tend to run tires pretty high. Okay, same thing on this tire, same exact tire. All right, so thank you.
Okay.
Sorry about the lighting, folks. Okay, we're gonna turn this back on. So ours came with not very much. That works so easy. Whoops. This angle of all the everything going on here is a little bit awkward. And if you overfill, this thing has a little release valve. There we go, 18 and a half. Good enough for what I'm doing. Now, the reason we brought this outside wasn't to do a bunch of riding, but you know, like putting air in your tires. This is the sort of stuff that we show, but not because we want to show putting air in the tires. We want to show the whole process, because at the end of the day, if you guys are deciding to buy this thing, putting air in a tire in a bike is a legitimate thing that you're gonna have to do, okay? And if you don't know how to do that, or if you have problems doing that, then I would wanna know, especially if I'm spending this kind of money on a bike. So let's just bring it around once and then we'll put it into this car if it'll fit. The camera crew is concerned it's not gonna fit.
Well, and I'm concerned it's too dark to see.
It's too dark to see? Okay, so So far, so good. It's a bicycle. I have no battery. It works perfect. We have brakes up front, very responsive, no wobble. We have brakes in the back, very responsive, no wobble. That's important to me. I'm in currently 3rd gear. Very easy to get moving. Very easy to stop, no problems. Okay, so those are all things that you would expect from a bike of this caliber. Now, the camera crew says that we're not gonna get it in this hole, okay? This is a Chevy Traverse. It happens to be a 2011, not that it really matters. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna see if it goes, because this is gonna be important to some of you guys. So let's just,
Kickstand?
you think that the kickstand's up,
Oh, I know, but
pedals in and up, in and up. And this is also a time factor, because I wanna see like how long it takes. Okay. And remember, I'm just wearing shorts and flip-flops, not like I got a bunch of safety gear on. And I wouldn't ordinarily have any of that stuff on. Okay, so that folds a little tighter than I did before. And then I'm curious if the handle can stay up. Let's see, how bad are we so far? Okay, so that's not gonna work yet. Let's see if putting the handles down gets us in. Keep in mind, this is a big bike, okay? It's not a small frame. Okay, so this can go up and then pull down, even with it collapsed already halfway. Man, that is so small compared to what it was.
yeah.
All right, whoa, shoot. I wonder if there's a way to lock that. You think so?
I don't know. It would be kind of,
It'd be nice.
it would be kind of nice.
I don't know that there is though.
No.
Well, whatever, I'm just gonna grab it different. Okay, so.
Watch the handlebar.
The handlebar?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about this for a minute. This is not in there yet. We have our seats for the 3rd row all up right now.
Yep.
Okay. So really, with some effort, do we have kid seats in there?
Yes.
Okay. So with kid seats, you're probably gonna be stuck at this point. But I'm just wondering.
Can you lay it down?
Oh, look at that. And then this, like, just rotate it in.
No, if the back seat was down, would
The
you be
seat
able to
comes
lay
off,
it down
too.
flat? But the handlebar.
No, I know, but I'm just thinking about options. This comes off right there, and then you'd pretty much be in. Watch this, okay? Drop it down. We wanna see if, we don't wanna do the no BS review, guys. We wanna see if this thing fits. And we're curious for us, but I know you're curious for you. You guys are thinking about buying this expensive thing. You wanna know if you can get it in your car? It's latched. I wouldn't say it's like a great fit, but the thing is, that is a huge bike, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a legit bike for a 6 foot tall dude. And it's in there and it's not broken, okay?
Okay.
So now let's see how bad it is to get out. We do have to kind of tuck under this lip. That's the worst part. And then I do have to drop that, which is a bummer. Of course, you're gonna have to mark it so you can get it back to the same spot every time, because it is a little bit hard to tell. Okay, so the easiest way I'm gonna think is I can reach through these spokes. You see that? I didn't think about that. Okay. I can go straight through. And then it keeps my hand off of all the greasy stuff. Okay, so there's down and under. Put it on the ground, let it rest. It sits on its own. There's nothing really too tough about it. And we've done a lot harder things in our life than setting that bike up. Dang, that is really phenomenal. Phenomenal. And you guys are seeing it in real time. This is the 2nd time we've done this in our life. Okay, all the way up, latched. Dang, guys, that is incredible. Talk about speaking for itself, right? That boot seems to have popped off. You suppose that's supposed to go? Oh, that just has a pressure fit. Has a pressure fit there. See that? Mm-hmm. It pulled off. I'll see if I can get that to pop back down. Then we should be golden. Okay, so let's go back to where we were, which is about there. Get that locked. And remember, the battery does not change the dimensions at all.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna put the pedals back out. Okay, you just rotate them. You don't have to do anything beyond that. Locked, locked. That is freaking awesome. Guys, it's been wet, really wet. And that just goes without any problems. Loving it. Never ridden this bike before. We built that all in real time. So, Heybike, Ranger, all I got to say is impressive. I mean, that is a ton of features in one bike. And so far, really impressed. Can't wait to see it run on battery. What we might do is we'll take a very short clip in the dark just so you can see how the lighting works. And then the majority of the ride time will be in the light so you can actually see what's happening otherwise. But we'll pause and come right back with that. All right, so it's currently charging. So I'm just gonna unplug it. I'm gonna grab this thing, which is 11, 10 and 3/4. Yeah, 10 and 3/4 pounds. 10 and 5/6 pounds or whatever. 14/16 to be specific. Okay, one hand, okay. Line up the rail. Make sure it goes into the slides right down. Drops in, locks down. Safety first, all the way on. I'm leaving the key in. Press the power button. I don't know if you really need to do anything with that beyond it. Okay, so now at this point, got the light, got the horn. It's actually loud, which is nice. Then you've got power, which is gonna be, where's the power button on this one? Camera crew, do you remember? It's right here. Okay. There's a power button. Then it comes up. That's the speed, okay? Or the assistance level. And then also this is throttle, okay? So remember, your gearing doesn't matter. When your throttle is on, and it's based on the setting 1, 2, or 3, okay? So just, I wanna get a feel for this real quick and see how it works on, whoa, setting 1. Oh boy, that's got some torque in even setting 1, holy cow. Do you see that? Do you see me lift it up? That's awesome. Okay, so that's just using this. There's also gonna be a pedal assist, and that's gonna be on the setting 1, so I'll just show you what that looks like. You pedal for a second, then it kicks in. Woo! That is fast, holy cow. Wow, that's crazy fast. Okay, so couple thoughts real quick. Let's show them over here in the bowl, because the bowl is gonna give us a good representation of the light, okay? Now, I don't know how this is gonna pick up on film, but I just want you guys to see this. You see this, how I've pointed it down? Mm-hmm. While I'm driving, I can reach down and do this. And it's gonna be hard to tell, but you see how that's going? Back and forth. I can see the trees way out there. Those trees are 350 feet away, or well, maybe not quite that much, 200 feet away, somewhere like that. Mm-hmm. And also the light goes on and off with the touch of a button. You don't have to press and hold it, which is nice. Mm-hmm. And then you'll note that the brake light is flashing. I'm holding the brake. I let go of the brake, it's solid. Mm-hmm. I hold the brake, it's solid, okay? Lights off, shuts off the tail light, unless braking, and then it flashes. No brake, brake. No brake, brake. Light on, light off. So that gives you guys a good representation of all the different features of this thing. I love the way it rides so far. I mean, I've only had it for a few seconds. Really excited to try it. I feel like it's gonna give me a lot better ride, a lot better full-size person bike than what we've seen in the past. I know it's a minor detail, but it's nice when you have a kickstand that actually works. Kickstands sometimes suck really bad. And yes, there is a speedometer on here. It shows miles per hour with a decimal, 1 decimal position, and it's got an odometer. It's very bright and easy to read. Now, in the sun, that's probably going to be hard to read
Yeah,
because it's not incredibly bright, but it's very easy to see right now. So far, no complaints.
What?
There's another cat.
Oh.
The camera crew was concerned.
I didn't see her. I was.
What'd you think? It was a raccoon or
mouse
something?
I don't know. Something
No,
that
that's Colby, and then her nemesis is over here. She's hunting
Yeah.
her. Look, show them. She's hunting her.
Callie.
Callie, stop being so
Be a
mean.
jerk.
Hey. Now she just ran off to the hay pile. Oh boy, there's gonna be a cat fight, guys.
Actually.
A literal cat fight. Okay, guys, so not sure if you've already seen all the ride video footage, and obviously we have a chest rig now that should help us to possibly get some better footage, but really excited about this Heybike. So far, very impressed with everything, build quality. I'm a little bit unsure about off-road quality. I don't want to like go off-road in the dark, and it's also been raining a lot. But you saw it went right through there. And by the way, that is a soft, very soft spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I just ran the tractor and made a gutter, and that's why there's a low point there. So this thing is, I think it's gonna do amazing off-road, which is one of the primary reasons we got this thing, is because we need to actually go off-road. We don't want to, we need to. And so when we're running back and forth and jockeying parts out to a, you know, where we're working on the fences and things like that, this thing is gonna get us out and then hopefully through the alfalfa field, which is over here. And alfalfa can grow, you know, knee high, waist high. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but that's one of the things we wanna try to do. Plus then you don't have to pedal into that tall weed. You pedal, then you're gonna get caught up in the grass and the alfalfa. But if you can sit there and leave your feet out of the way, you can run. So that'd be cool. So we're gonna see how that works. The brakes feel fine. I feel like they could maybe be tightened a little bit. And then obviously a place to put your drink. That's something we didn't have on the other one, the other electric bike that we've done. And I can definitely feel that it's way more zippy. The pedal assist kicks in. Even on level 1, it feels very torquey. So a 500 watt motor, it's 500 watts is what they were saying on the package. So 500 watts and 48 volt system makes a big difference. So super excited to bring this to you. Guys, if you want to really help support our channel, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. There's tons of content just like this and even more exciting. It just depends on the day, it depends on what you're into. But we love doing these things, love bringing you new and exciting products as they're released and bringing them out to market right as soon as they're coming out, which is really fun. We're actually doing this in spring instead of in the middle of winter, which is really nice. So we're excited to use it. We can't wait to share our results and findings. But yeah, definitely check the links in the video description below. The best thing you can do to support us is buy the things that we bring to you on this channel. That helps us to build clout with people that we work with and manufacturers. And we bring you the truth. That the thing is garbage. We're going to tell you that. Generally speaking, the things that we get aren't garbage because the people that we work with know that we're going to tell the truth, and we tell them that ahead of time. And if they don't send it, then there's a good possibility it's going to be garbage. So if they're working with us, generally they're not, except for small occasions every once in a while. And we'll share that with you. So we're more concerned about your opinions and your long-term well-being than we are with one particular relationship with one company or another. But this looks to be a pretty good one. So we're super excited. We are gonna bring that battery in overnight, just full disclosure, and charge it and make sure that when the charger goes to a green light, we know that it's fully charged. It was still on a red light. Cooling fan was still humming along, still cool, and it's been running for a couple hours now. So obviously, in hindsight, having watched through our video and just scanned through before you build your own, you could probably have this thing out of the box and built in less than an hour, I would say. But of course, we're dinking around and filming and showing you tips and things that we've run into. So it's gonna take us more time than it will you to do what we did. So just keep that in mind. And then also, we'll let you know how the pressure's working because I'm running 18.5. That might be just a little bit higher than some of you guys want to run. I may end up, depending on what we do with this and how much off-roading we end up doing with it, I may adjust the springs to be a little bit firmer. I tend to like a little bit firmer ride, which I know it seems a little bit crazy, but that's just the way I am. I've always liked that on bicycles, to have a really tight front yoke with not a lot of give on it. So, but if you're riding for a long time or you're doing actual off-road adventures and doing jumps and things like that, then you'll want to probably have it a little bit softer so you can lessen that blow and not get hurt. So really excited to see this thing in action. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned, so much more here on Brian Phillips RC. Also, you can double check www.brianphillipsrc.com for updates on different projects and an organized way to find what you're looking for. And then it's just going to bring you back to YouTube. It's not really some big trick or anything. But if you're looking for a link on how to buy things, click on the video description below. If you're on a mobile device, you have to open that up, and then there should be links you can click. When you click, they'll have a cookie stored, and then they give us credit for sales, which is really handy, and that's pretty much how we fund our channel. So then alternatively, we have PayPal and Patreon as well in the top of the video descriptions where it says help us, and then we have links of all the master links. If you ever want to buy something that a manufacturer we work with sells, and maybe you found the video and then you're like, you know what, but I want this other model, just follow the master link and you can go there and buy it. Or if we haven't had a chance to get our Unbox build radio setup published, that's another way you can do it. Same thing with Horizon Hobby, same thing with Banggood, same thing with all these different vendors that we work with, Amazon, Tower Hobbies, help me out here, Big O Hobby, X-Fly, FMS, Hobby Zone, Arrows. We work with a lot of different manufacturers. And if we left anybody out, we're apologizing right now because it's really hard to keep track. RC Hacker, all these different companies have really helped our channel to exist. And so we're really eternally grateful for you guys giving us a chance when we were small, and now that we're bigger, we're able to do so much more footage because there's no way we could afford to buy all these different things and bring every single one of them to you guys. We want to just bring everything, but it's not always possible. So with that being said, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. Brian Phillips RC signing out.